Hello, everyone. Welcome to another top episode. My name is Larry.
Lawrence. Seb.
And Linus. This is Top Podcast, where we talk One Piece and anime. Woo! I gotta start changing the name, bro.
You gotta.
I gotta change the name.
You gotta write that out.
I think I just gotta change the name.
I think the name is fine. You gotta write that piece
top,
out,
bro.
I mean,
I don't like it no more.
It's up to you, bro.
I don't like it no more.
I feel that's gonna be a lot.
Ain't doing it.
I don't know that we can change the name, bro.
Doing it. Well, yeah, we can change the name.
I don't know we can do that.
Yeah, we can do something. But anyway, what up, y'all? Today is episode 207 of the Top Podcast. And I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being here early. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. Also, for everybody that's new and just watching us for the first time, I just want to say thank you for being here. We hope you have a good time. We're going to be discussing One Piece chapter 1151. We won't be reviewing the anime episode. We will be able to take Discord phone calls afterwards. I think we'll have enough time for sure with that. And if you want to send us something through the mail, we have our P.O. box in the video description below. Also, I signed up with a new merch store, and you'll be able to order merch, especially the shirts that me and Sebastian wore in our vlog that I posted. That will be available after the episode is done. I forgot to attach the YouTube store to the video, so my bad. So you'll see that very soon. For all those that are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for being here. We hope you have a good time. If you haven't already, please give us 5 stars and a nice comment. But other than that, I'm very excited for the chapter. I have 2 good theories. I think will kind of get your minds going about some things. Okay. So,
all right.
Hopefully it sounds good.
Nice. You wrote them out.
I always write them out.
All right.
Yeah. You know he did.
I gotta check them.
Yeah. Yeah, people be checking me, bro.
Right. Let's shout out chat and get into some super chats. I see Wakio, I see Michael D'Angelo, Pyro Vortex, KSG2, Isaac Lopez, That Ain't A, Adrian D. Man, Deku Mighty, Night Lion, Dempsey Roll Epo, Trafficar D. Jenny, Black Ghost, Left Lane John Wayne, William Pravinov, Monkey D. Jiraiya, Just Chillin', Huncho Shogun, Mr. Aura, Montrezella, River Joker, Brandon Wigfall, Austin Hart, Steve-O, Isaac Thomas, Daddy Maddie, P, Majin D. Sage, Trafficar D. Jenny, Antonio Freeman, Figureland Shampoo, Gerardo Almanza, Link Tails, Grim _ Marquito, Monkey DJ, Teabag, Doug Missy, Pota Jesus, Carlos Cancel Medina, and so many others.
Sweet Meat said, "Don't skip over me."
Sweet Meat? My bad. My fault. But appreciate y'all being here. Like Larry said, like the stream. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. We do have a couple super chats sitting.
For those that don't know, we're going to do super chats for like 10 minutes, and then we're going to go straight into the chapter.
All right. Yeah, we got $2 from That Ain't A. It says, Luffy versus Naruto. Larry's answer, Bajrang Gun. # DDT. They on to you, bro.
Nah. Luffy would need more than that.
Yeah, I think, if you want a conclusive answer, we did a DDT on this at MomoCon. It's live. I think we put it out recently. Mm-hmm. But based off the answers that I was getting, and people were talking about Naruto's kit, and just a little bit of more research, Luffy's stamina gonna be an issue. I'll tell you that right now.
See,
Naruto's definitely winning.
So I saw a little bit of that. I wasn't able to finish the whole thing because I had to leave. But one thing for that in that form that Naruto was in from that picture, apparently he has a stamina issue too, from what they said, right? So going back, both of them stamina issue. And I was listening to this one guy. He was saying that pretty much that Luffy got stamina issues, but he feels like Luffy's stamina will go out quicker, and then once it's over, it's over. He says that, but we literally have on Manga where Luffy, his stamina went out and he willpowered it out to continue fighting against one of the strongest people in the show, Kaido, right? And then essentially, yes, you could factors matter, but then won that fight, you know? So it shows that, yes, Luffy could drain out, but he could also will it out to fight longer and still fight at top of the line that he was fighting before. We see Luffy like will it out where he reawakened his Gear 5th to fight Kaido and, you know, put Kaido down through ring out, but to do that, you know? So
Kaido got knocked out.
See, that's where me and you kind of.
Nah, Kaido got knocked out.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did, man. It's Kaido, bro. It's Kaido. Man.
He ain't get knocked out.
He ain't get knocked out?
He ain't get knocked out.
Kaido didn't get knocked out?
Nah, he ain't get knocked out.
So what I'll say is that
Y'all tripping.
when we were doing Luffy versus Naruto, they can start out base form if they want and start smacking each other around, right? The thing is with Naruto, his chakra is basically infinite. He can like just use QB chakra mode and BI and survive off of that. But then if he runs out of it, he could just use Sage mode because he just happened to go, yo, I got 2 clones somewhere collecting nature chakra. And then once that's being used up, Kurama's in the back also building up some of his own chakra again to use. So he never really runs out at all. So if he steps into the Baron mode, granted, whatever, he can do that if he wishes. It'll be at the sacrifice of Kurama. But when he's in that mode, his reflexes are uncanny, bro. And then he could just punch you and then take away life from you. Because that's what he did to the person he was fighting against when he used the mode. And the thing is, he can create Vajra gun attacks with the Bijou bombs. Because we've seen Bijou bombs break up like mountains easily. And he could do more than one. And he could do all different types of elemental Bijou bombs. So it's like, bruh, how are you going to stop that?
Listen, I'm incredibly biased, but I still got Luffy, mostly because Naruto push. And I don't respect him like that.
I can't disagree with that. But I will
and I will add one more point before you start.
Yeah.
Even when Naruto was going all out against Sasuke, he wasn't trying to murk Sasuke. He was trying to bring him back to the village.
Because he weak.
So ultimately, he even still made it with Sasuke without really trying to murk him. Which he could have done and ended the fight. He was way more overpowered than people think. And that's just him at the end of Shippuden. When he gets to like adult version, he's much more stronger. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he was cutting up the moon, bro, at one point. He wasn't Hokage yet.
You know how I feel about moons, man. You know how I feel, bro. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Toon Force is an equalizer for sure, but it's never been like, it's not long standing.
I'm gonna be real.
Luffy would have to end him in like 2 minutes.
Luffy gonna tame Kurama anyway. You feel me? Like
with his haki?
I'm gonna be 100% real with you. He gonna tame it anyway. But if we want to go beyond that, listen, I gotta do more research on Naruto. He got more in his kit than I give him credit for. I just know one of them dudes is a conqueror, one of them ain't.
Even if Conquerors works sort of like Genjutsu, we already know how Genjutsu works on Jinchuriki, and it doesn't work on them because there's 2 chakra flows.
But Conqueror's haki wouldn't work that way on Jinchuriki because it's not like it's an illusion where I'm tricking you. It's legit because I don't know. Oda hasn't really explained it why Conqueror's haki has this effect on animals. It could be just straight up fear or whatever, but you kind of like you're just submitting them to your will, like without much effort.
Kurama never submitted himself to nobody.
He ain't never
except against the Rikudu Sage and Naruto himself.
He ain't never ran into Luffy, man.
Luffy. And the last thing I wanted to bring out was this one guy was talking about how like he was ripping Luffy because he hasn't finished it yet. Like he hasn't found One Piece, and Naruto did what he wanted to do.
It's harder.
And then I was like, and he was like, and one of you guys asked, so Naruto would find the One Piece? Yeah, I go, no, he wouldn't. That's what I had to say. Naruto was not finding that One Piece.
Naruto wouldn't be trying to find the One Piece. I'll give him that. I talk crap about One Piece Naruto all day. I don't think he would be trying to find it. He would be trying to solve all the other actual problems in the world.
No, but even if he wanted to, full Naruto wouldn't find it. Like, people think, I'm going to be real with you, I think Naruto's dumber than Luffy.
Oh, nah, you wildin'.
No.
Now you wildin'.
No.
Now you wildin'.
To me, the fact that you didn't feel like you realized that you were learning from your own clones.
Yo,
Someone else.
He was like,
I don't care.
He was like 12.
I don't care. Someone else had to tell you this and show it to you because you weren't getting it. And then also too, after 2 years, no, let's be real. I didn't finish Naruto. I know. But after 2 years with Jiraiya, be honest, what did Naruto really learn?
He learned
He
learned a bigger Rasengan. He got bigger.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's Naruto's fault. He had a bad sensei. What the hell,
dude?
Does that not fall on Jiraiya?
Dude, I'm just saying, Luffy was left like. What, the rest of the 2.5 years, or no, the last a year and a half, or however how long he was lived, on his own, and Luffy still progressed on his own with a little bit that Rayleigh was able to teach him. Because Rayleigh was only with him for about like maybe 6 months, maybe at max a year,
Lawrence,
or whatever, or maybe he's a year and a half. But either way, Luffy had to figure out a lot on his own, and then we still see him figure stuff out. Naruto, 2 years with the dude,
Lawrence.
and only when I was reading it. And I still found out this dude still needed clones to make the Rasengan.
Hold on.
And I was like,
none of this is relevant.
This dude is not progressing.
Hold on.
It's not
relevant though.
It shows how he how he progresses.
Yo,
Lawrence.
Lucci,
how bad
when Luffy was fighting Lucci, he was like, it doesn't matter.
No. It shows how bad that Naruto was at progressing himself.
Lawrence.
He has to be handed stuff.
Rayleigh
handed the jutsu by his father.
Taught Luffy more than Jiraiya ever taught Naruto. Jiraiya was chasing Tail, and he was chasing Jiraiya to come teach him something.
Oh man.
He had to break his focus. But don't forget, Lawrence, when you be calling Naruto dumb and stuff like that, but he did figure out the Rasengan in a matter of time where people doubted him the most. And he did it as a kid. It really wasn't per se him that was dumb. It was the senseis that were teaching him that was dumb. Because remember, even when he stole the hidden scroll to make the Kage Bushins, learned it by himself. He didn't have nobody teach him that.
True.
He read the scroll. And that was when he was just starting out. And plus, don't forget, the reason why he couldn't make shadow clones correctly was because Kurama was messing with his chakra.
With the chakra, yeah.
So even then, he was valid.
Valid's a strong word, but I feel you.
Meanwhile, Luffy didn't have any of that. He had nobody
Luffy had his
holding him
own
back.
little learning
He had
curve.
nobody holding him back. He had people pushing him forward, like Sabo and Ace.
Well,
come on,
I'll
man.
say his ability was holding him back as soon as he learned it because Luffy learned how to fight without the ability, and then had the ability to push him back, and then had to learn how to use that ability.
We gotta move on, but either way, your knocks on Naruto aren't relevant.
No, it shows his progression.
Pre-everything.
No, dude, this dude still needs clones to make Rasengans. That's a degression. Like, that's not growth.
That's not a degression.
That's not growth. Is that growth?
How's it a degression? If I start here and I stay here, I have to degress?
All the people that know how to do Rasengans in the show, name one of them that needs a clone to do it.
Name one of them that could beat Naruto, though. So it don't matter.
All right.
Oh, my bad. I gotta add 2 people to do this, but I'm still packing you.
All right.
Like, what are you talking about?
But you also talk about Naruto. Naruto was also given a lot. From the beginning of the show, yeah, it crippled him a little bit, but it was also a big gain because he had a Jinchuriki.
I'm all for
That's not his strength.
Listen, I'm all for
That's not
Naruto's
Naruto's
strength.
strength.
You taking it too far.
The Jinchuriki is not Naruto's strength.
You're being a Naruto
That's not.
hater.
His father just said, "I thought you could use it."
But he still needed. Hold on, but he still needed to tame Kurama. He still needed to be that guy to do that. He had to learn to do that. He had to
Larry
grow
just
and
said
do
Kurama
that.
couldn't be tamed.
But by Naruto, he said that.
Yeah, Naruto tamed him.
When?
God.
See,
I'm asking. I don't know. I didn't finish Naruto. When?
See, and why we talking? Why are we talking?
I'm just saying, from the little bit I've seen, Naruto, this dude, he's not impressive. He's not impressive at all.
It's not
Watch
fair.
the end of the series, and then we could talk
That
again,
was
Lawrence.
not fair.
All right, let's get 5 more super chats, and then we got to read the chapter.
Yeah.
Because we already passed the time limit.
And one of his heart.
Yo, Mario.
Naruto be having heart attacks. Anyway, another 5 from Black Ghost. Larry, how much prep time would Luffy need if he was able to use Bajrang gun and Gatling gun together?
How much time would he need? None. He could just start doing it, most likely. Gear 5.
Gear 5, well, I mean, I don't think he could just instantly spam.
I don't think he can spam it,
But that's what Gatling gun is. To
he'll
spam
just blow
the
up
attack.
both of his hands like he does Gear 3 and just start hooking off.
there's a little bit of prep time. It's not as much as like, to get it to island size for both hands, it's gonna take some time. Anyway.
It'd be Blackbeard overkill.
I agree. Another 5 from Daddy Matty. Need to start ending each episode by saying, my name is Larry, Lawrence, Lionel, and Seb, and you just got topped off. Okay.
See?
Hashtag, when is the Marv feature?
Okay. You gotta ask Marv, bro.
Yeah.
When we have break week, maybe we can watch the episode.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Okay. We got another 5 from Majin D. Sage. What up, though? What do you think about the idea that blackening your blade is like a swordsman's awakening? Like becoming one with your sword?
We've talked about this a couple times. It sounds good. Sounds like a bankai.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Another 7 from Joven. Lawrence looking effing jacked. Larry, Seb, y'all I. Hashtag Law D Dilf. Hashtag Gat Larry. Hashtag Shake that thing Sebi.
What's up with that super chat, bro?
Yeah,
You was on something.
Yeah, bro.
And then last one for Marv. Another 2 from Nicholas Cortez. It says, Marv, what's your favorite One Piece arc?
Pre-time skip, I like Alabasta. I think that was the arc where I noticed that Oda was like really into world building because he gave Alabasta, like, he made it a country and he presented different places in that country. Like, if you watch other anime, no one else does that. If Goku goes somewhere, the whole planet is gonna look the same. It'll be called the same thing. And post time skip, probably Wano right now, but Egghead is definitely
up there.
It might take its place by the end of it.
Okay. Solid choices, Mar. Real solid choices. Didn't they have towns or little cities in
Earth,
Namek?
On Earth, they have like West Town, North Town.
No, but even on Namek, they had little villages. No, am I tripping?
I don't think they
Not
had.
really.
They had like just villages.
Yeah.
Cause
no like towns or anything.
And they looked the same. Like,
yeah, they did all look the same. It was the only thing that was different was where the big guy was sitting at or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get to the super chats after we do the cover story real quick, okay? So you guys ready for this chapter?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it. So today's chapter is titled "I Get the Idea." We return to Yamato's pilgrimage and the cover story, where the caption reads, "Sumo tourney in Hakumai, hurling Urashima's big brother Yokozuna Sukune." What are your thoughts on this week's cover story? Starting with Lo?
Nothing much at all. Like, it just seeming like he's just dying it down now, right? And I also wanted to think, because I forgot who this person was. This is the person's older brother that Luffy fought, right?
Yep.
So I didn't even know. Okay, so I don't know if this guy's stronger or what, but we can at least say they're probably at least around the same strength. But
Yeah.
I don't know where this is gonna
Are
lead
you
to.
and Lionel around the same strength?
I don't think so.
So your assumption is wrong. All right. Seb?
I have nothing.
All right.
Oda didn't deserve my thoughts and my perspective with this new installment of the cover story. So I'm not giving it.
Okay. I have also nothing to say. Nothing to say at all. We're not going to be negative. We're not going to be positive.
Oh, I was negative, but
We're just going to go straight to super chats once again 5 more times. And then we'll get back into the chapter.
Yeah,
So let's do 5 super chats.
All right, but yeah, we got another 5 from Smooth Weeb. Loki snail is snow type, so it can't resemble Mosa since the beard is a part of the snail. Is that because we'd recognize the voice on a normal snail? Well, there's no way for us to recognize the voice considering...
He meant recognize the face.
Ah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Talking about Shag?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll get to that part a little later. I don't know if one of your theories pertains to that or not.
I have a small theory about it.
Okay. But maybe, I mean, people, that's been going around in the community in regards to, like, what you see isn't what that person talking looks like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've gotten confirmation of that or not.
It's just a snail.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe. Another €6 from Music Noah. It says, "Hey y'all, love the pod. I'm Team Sebi-chan in most of the arguments," with a strong emoji. "I got a question. Do y'all think Emu will be defeated at the end of Elbaf?" Emu won't.
No.
This version of them, sure. But
Gunko,
Emu,
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, Emu's not even here, so it would be crazy. How would he get defeated? So I don't think that, and I don't think Emu's coming here either. And I don't even know. It might even be like mostly Gunko gets, I guess, I don't know how to put it. Her mind gets awakened from like her past, more of a defeat in that way, but not necessarily her. I think her memories. I'm saying her memories will come back. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Another 6 from Don Pablo. It says, yo, hot take or not. Dressrosa is paced fine. There's so much going on that it makes sense that it takes that long. If you're talking in the manga, I would agree with you. If you're talking about the anime, I would heavily disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if y'all feel the same or not.
Seems about accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. Another 5 from Ian Butler. How likely would you say it is that Blackbeard would shatter the walls around Wano to take the ancient weapon and or the poneglyph? 1, both, and 2, very likely. I think it's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we all kind of said, like, that would at least make the cover story interesting.
Yeah.
That's what we were hoping for.
We could have been, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah. Stay neutral.
Another 5 from Young Lou. It says, for Marv, if you could add any person to the Straw Hat crew you've encountered so far, who would it be? Love to you, the guys, as usual. Hashtag Shingang. Hashtag Bust It Open.
A lot of questions for me today.
Yeah, they love you, Marv.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. What I would have liked to have seen is probably like a strong female, like someone who gets the fights. Cause
Yamato.
yeah, it would have been Yamato, right?
A little too strong, but I feel you. Yeah. Maybe not anymore. I used to say that. Maybe not anymore.
No, it would have definitely still been.
You think too strong?
Yeah, she would have defeated the Holy Knights.
Yeah, I would like a Tifa type, from Final Fantasy VII. They could actually like brawl. Like somebody like that would have been cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, one more, and then we'll jump back into the chapter.
We got another 2 from Off-Brand. Naruto almost died from a heart attack. Stop this, LOL. That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
See,
unless there's another scene he's referring to.
Yo, y'all always take. Thank you for that. Hold on.
It was a panic attack, not a heart attack.
Out of context.
It was not a heart attack. It was a panic attack.
Thank you.
Y'all trolling too hard.
Y'all never had the ninja world on top of y'all's shoulders.
Oh, the ninja world wasn't on top of his shoulders in that moment.
It
was just Sasuke's life in the balance in that moment. In that specific moment.
One of the reasons why I don't respect Naruto.
Y'all don't
It's
understand
crazy,
Naruto's character.
I understand it very well.
And it's sad that y'all stopped short. Because we see in the ignorance.
Listen.
See in the ignorance.
The show would... I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. I'll say that off panel. I'll say that off stream.
All right.
Say it off stream.
All right. Anyway.
Thank you for that.
Do we got... How many do we have more? A lot? Oh, jeez. We'll get back to the super chats. Let's jump into the chapter, like the meat of the chapter.
Yeah.
Okay? Guys, we're going to get back to the super chat, so please just wait on it. We just still have to run the show. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. All right. To open the chapter, we see Kashi shouting at Dory and Bragi to stop. They can't take out Chief Yarul. He reminds them they've idolized Yarul their entire lives. Bragi agrees, but says Yarul has grown old and weak, and now it's time to force him into retirement. Dory follows up by proclaiming that they will become the kings of Elbaf, declaring that the god of Elbaf will be no more. They vow to usher in an age of war, an era ruled by the ruthless and the strong. Kashi is shocked, saying they've never spoken like this before. Their personalities have completely changed. Thorman warns Kashi to stay back. They've been flipped and aren't the same anymore. Kashi doesn't understand and is in disbelief. As one of the flipped giants walks past Thorman, a pentagram forms beneath him, and he too is flipped. Thorman begs not to turn evil, but it's too late. We see the flipping process in real time, similar to Othello game pieces. Thorman emerges, now resembling the other flipped giants, and says he feels incredible. The unturned giants begin to retreat. Ripley calls out to Colin, asking her to wait, and if it's true, what happened to Mr. Ya. We then return to Branch Route 8, where the children are asleep. While unconscious, they overhear that giant pirates have turned into demons. their nightmares manifest into a massive nightmare hole and give birth to the demon Sleeptids. Killing him addresses his monstrous creations, telling them that they're not truly passed away and to rise again. So they obey. We then see Killing him in his man-beast form, having shed his full Zoan form. He smirks and says, "Now things are really cooking. With the Great One here, there's no need to hold back. Rampage to your heart's desires, my Sleeptids. And remember, Elbaf, you created these monsters yourselves." So, Seb, what did you think about the beginning of the chapter, bro?
All right, so I actually felt bad for Kashi. Like, him and Oimo, like, left the island to try to find Dory and Bragi, and, like, they got manipulated by the world. Like, they've been through a lot to try to get back to this happy moment, this island with this crew, with these captains. And then, like, it's very short-lived because now they get turned into demons. You got to fight them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. And then Dory and Bragi, what they're saying just sounds so crazy to me. Like, it's so anti what they're about. Like, oh, we got to kill the old man and, like, put him to his retirement and all this and that. And Elbaf doesn't need a god anymore. Like, it's just so different from the from the Dory and Bragi that we know. So it's just wild to see that, like, to hear it. I do like that this is happening, though. Like, I was wondering about who will be tasked to kind of fight them. Like, will it be Luffy? Will it be Usopp? Will it be Zoro and Sanji because of their whole thing back in the day on Elbaf? Like, I was really kind of thinking about that, like, what's going to take to put them down or beat them or revert them. And then I really liked the board game pieces. And I know that's, I believe, Othello. I'm not too well versed in the game itself, but the whole turning black pieces into white pieces into black pieces and changing the board over, like, I like that as a visual representation. I know we had, was it Shogi or Go in Wano? Yeah, with the CP9. I kind of like that. I've always liked that. I would like...
We have to turn all these pies to white pies.
We can't say that in this session.
I'm just going to turn all these white pies.
We can't say that here because that represents evil.
Yo, bro.
But that is hilarious.
But it did make me think, to your theory that you had about Luffy turning people into Nika, like, is this going to be a Luffy being the White Knight having to change all these board pieces from black to white?
Yeah.
So I wasn't a real big fan of the Luffy turning people into Nikas, but maybe just symbolically it could be cool. Like, him being the reason why people turn back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like an army of Nikas personally, but, you know, we'll see how it plays out. Killing him... Oh, I'll wait till I get to that part. The fact that we're generating even more nightmares just from people hearing, like, the kids are sleeping and we sleepwalking and hearing about the demons, like, subconsciously generating more, spawning more nightmares. I think that's great. And, like, they seem, I don't want to say seem stronger, but they're pure black now. Like, the ones that they're starting to spawn out versus the kind of shaded ones from before. I just think that's an elevation of the strength level. It's always good to see, I forget her name, but...
Ripley?
Ripley, yeah, there we go. I'm going to be probably the only person in the One Piece community that says this. I did not like Killing Him's revealed form. I thought he looked much cooler before. He was a unique design to me. I thought it was dope. Like, you never saw a Killing Him or Kirin. Like, you didn't see any of those in One Piece before. I've seen dozens of people with sharp teeth, bro, in the story. Yeah. Like, this doesn't do anything for me. I kind of like the half-beast form that he has or whatever, but, like, I would have preferred he rocked the original form, like the original design. And
he looked like Sparrow, bro. The purple dragon.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? But to me, this new form is just Dellinger with black hair. Like, this doesn't inspire anything for me. I did like the little horn that he uses, apparently, to, like, wake his demons up, the nightmares up. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's, like, a lore specifically for that. I think it's the Kirin's lore. But no, I just like the little developments overall about everything that's kind of happened here. I just would have preferred he stayed as he was. His teeth does make me think maybe he's a fishman. We had some conversation about that on the Moon Piece Pod live stream. I don't know. I'm not ready to say he's a fishman just yet, but if he is, that's crazy. That's an insane development for his character, which I guess could be the reason why he got this little reveal here. So I'll stop there, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the new killing him.
All right. Law?
Yeah. I thought maybe it's still too early that this dude's hand would regenerate or back to the thing, but it's really just a space between his forearm and his hand.
You're talking about Broggy.
Yeah, Broggy, yeah, while he's just wielding the shield. And it's just weird to me. Like, are you gonna connect or no? Okay, like, you know, it's like what's happening? Maybe it's because it's happening fast. It just slowed to read because like Emu did it. Or that's going to be like his phantom hand, so to speak, until...
Take my strong hand! He's like, give me your other hand.
No. Okay. But until I guess he gets like reversed or flipped again, right? And like you, Sebastian brought out too, is like you kind of feel bad for this guy because if you think about it, they finally get their captains back after all this time. And then, boom, they finally reach Wano after, more than 100 years or 100 years or so? And then, boom, they get flipped by Emu and turn to, like, where they're kind of destroying it now. So it's, like, kind of like a tragedy. It's like, after all these years, we finally get our warriors back. We're going to have this festival. And no, you're having a nightmare ahead, right? And so like I can feeling it for them, and then also too the way he's speaking is weird. How Oda put in that it's like kind of like he almost this giant explained it for us, right? So I thought it was really interesting because we see those pieces. And Sebastian brought out how it's similar to what we saw on Wano, right? So the only difference is we saw the CP0 moving it, right, and playing it. This one is flipping on its own, right, and changing on its own, right? So. And then how he explained it, I don't want to get flipped, and saying how like they were flipped to an entirely different person. And it made me think of kind of what you were saying, you know, whereas like to me this kind of speaks out. I wonder if it is just the like example an evil fruit, right? And you could kind of flip people from being that their normal selves to a completely evil version of themselves, right? Where you kind of forsaken or anything, your old beliefs, your own personality, whatever, where you're just aligned to evil, so to speak, right? So I thought about that, like, if that was the case in this situation, because that's what it looks like to me, and like, you know, being flipped, and also what could be undone about it. Because I think I'm like losing my train of thought while I was saying this.
I believe in you, bro.
Right? Yeah. So like getting flipped, and then also too, because they're talking about they mentioned about even their beliefs in like, you know, Nika, and I wonder if it's like in a way. Because I thought that statement that Oda blackened it, that there's no need for Elbaf's god anymore. And we know what it had to do with, for example, Nika or whatever, right? So it also makes me believe, because remember I compared it, I said this is different from, like, the contract, for example, so to speak, with we see with the Gorosei or even the Knights, right? And I want to know... Covenants? Yeah, exactly, right? And I want to know, I wonder if it's because, what if you're already... How does it affect you if you're already evil? You're already bad, which is like, and you kind of want this. Is it more like them? Because the Gorosei are kind of like bad. You're already on their side. But this one, he has to flip you to gain you on your side. But if he already has like a loyal companion on his side and you're already evil, there's no real need to flip. It's just like, do you just, how this contract work on you? And I think we have an example of that with the Gorosei, because they're already evil. Or this one, no, we're going to reverse you completely out of your character to and I don't know, say this is like within you, maybe just a different version of you. I can't really explain it yet. They're gonna explain it too, right? But that's what that makes me think it's definitely ability, and maybe the evil fruit is the fact that we just see the white piece switch to the black piece, you know, showing, and then we see later on they mentioned we didn't get that far, right? No.
I mean,
yeah, we didn't get that far, yeah. But they mentioned it earlier later on in the manga, so that's fine. But they get the idea, right? So and. What I want to bring out, and Sebastian, to your point, I don't know if it's stronger versions of the nightmares. I think it's just like now since they kind of focused on what she's thinking about, the demons, she's now picturing that, and that's what's spawning. You know, where it was like, oh, these things I'm scared of, but now in a way that brought into your thoughts, so now you're just thinking of or dreaming of that. Now it's spawning demons. They could be stronger, I don't know, but I think it's just mostly that, right? And I'm gonna be real with you. When I saw Killingham pop up, but obviously I didn't know it was him, I was like, who the heck is that? Like, who is this guy? And I started thinking, when did another... And I'm looking, I was like, all right, I'm sorry. He looks like... He's dressed like a knight. And I'm like, did another one pop up? No, Oda would have showed another one arrived. Who is this? And I'm looking, I was like, I'm so confused right now. Then I see his name, and I was like, wait, what? So that was his, I guess, full... I don't know if it's awakened form or his full, you know... Because it says right now, it says hybrid mode. So at the very least, that's either his full-on dragon mode or it's his awakened dragon mode, which we still haven't clarified yet. But it threw me off completely because I was like, who is this guy? And also, so to me, even the personality seems different from him when he was in his dragon form and then in this one. Like, the way he speaks, even the smile on his face, it seems like a different person from what we saw from King.
He seemed more anxious before. Yeah. Like, when he first popped up, he was like, oh, I'm late, I'm doing this. Like, he seemed more like a Disney character. Yeah. Now it's like, nah, I'm just an evil douchebag.
Even the look on his face, maybe because the dragon made him look like that, but he has these droopy eyes, kind of like he's more calm or mild, right? And then even when he was changing, I think the other translation, the official translation matches what he said more, but I started laughing because in one translation, when he turns he takes the salt out, and he recognizes, oh, this is... salt, whatever, right? And just one translation goes, oh, quite the connoisseur, right? It matched him, right? But then in the official translation, he says, oh, gourmet stuff. And I feel like that does match more of him here. But to me, it still doesn't really match what I've seen for this person. It's like almost a different character.
So from my answer to that, it's just he was more in the Zoan form. And we already know that even when Luffy goes into Gear 5, his personality changes quite a bit.
True.
But when he's in Gear 4, he's kind of like himself. So I would say this is a lower version of the Zoan form than it is the one he was shown using earlier.
Yeah, because it does say hybrid mode, so I wonder if that could be a factor too. But it's just like it just threw me off about kind of like the change in like demeanor, personality, kind of not so much because we haven't seen much personality yet, but also the look. I was like, who is this, right? And it also makes me laugh. If you look at his bubble, he almost has like this filter mask or whatever. But I'm like because you look at his dragon form, it almost looks like that's part of his nose. Like his nose is reaching out of it, right? But then when he's in his oxy-human form, you just see the filter there or the mask there, right? And I wonder why that's there because also too, you know why they all wear it. You know, even though not all of them are wearing it because like, you know, Sommer's not wearing it and Gunko was. In fact, strangely enough, we didn't even see Shamrock wear it, right? But he's wearing it because they don't want to breathe the world's air because they view it high, right? But he's wearing it, right? But if you have a filter in there, kind of defeats the purpose because then you're breathing in the air, like it's pretty much. But it just made me laugh though. But yeah. So I think that's all I have for now.
All right. I have a theory. I have two specifically for this part here. For those that are new, I read off my phone when I read my theories.
They really be clever at you for that?
Just need to clarify, okay? So you don't start coming after me. So I'll start with my first theory. All right? I believe Guernica, also named Guernica, was once a vessel for Imu, much like Gunko is now. Let me explain. Before Guernica was shown taking on a leadership role within the CPO, he was regarded by the Gorosei as their finest agent and even acted as a spokesperson for the entire Cypher Pole organization. But the most intriguing detail about Guernica is his mask, specifically how it resembles Gunko's eyes. Both Guernica and Gunko have blacked out eyes with one eye noticeably lighter than the other. This could symbolize a mark left behind by Imu indicating possession or a vessel. The idea gains more weight when you look at what happens after Gunko is overtaken by Imu. She begins using Domi Reversi, a power that flips people and brings out the darkness within, mirroring the board game Othello. This symbolism is reinforced in the latest chapter when Thorman is flipped and the Othello imagery is shown in real time. Now, rewind to the Wano arc. There's a scene where Garunika discusses the state of the world with the rest of the CP0 while Maha and Joseph are playing Go, another board game based on black and white pieces. Both Othello and Go represent duality, light versus dark, possibly echoing the story's deeper conflict. Joy Boy's white pieces and Imu's black pieces. And here's where things get even more interesting. Garunika's name. It's likely no coincidence that his name sounds like Guernica. During the climax of the Wano arc, Garunika interfered directly in the fight between Luffy and Kaido, ensuring Kaido struck the final blow that murked Luffy. That moment triggered Luffy's resurrection, awakening Gear 5, his true form, the Nika form. It's as if Garunika was there to fulfill a specific purpose directly tied to Joy Boy's return, whether he meant to stop it or trigger it. The name connection and the timing are too deliberate to ignore. Looking at the broader pattern, it's clear Imu has already extended their power beyond a single vessel. The Gorosei willed monstrous abilities, seemingly granted from a higher source. The Holy Knights appear to act under Imu's will. Even ordinary giants have been flipped into demonic forms through Dami Reversi. So, it's not far-fetched at all to think Imu would also embed themselves within Cypher Pole Zero, an elite covert branch of the world government. Given the symbolic narrative and visual parallels between Garunika and Gunko, along with his suspicious role in a pivotal Joy Boy moment, it's entirely plausible that Garunika was once one of Imu's vessels, deployed for manipulation at the highest level, and discarded once his task was done. What y'all think about that theory?
Interesting.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do.
It makes sense. Because also, too, like, I don't know if I was going to say this for later on, but I was thinking about the whole thing. It was like, in a way, Nika getting involved, it made me think, I wonder how many times he's done this, right? Or is he just kind of fed up because things are taking too long? Like, things are moving slow, and my enemies are growing. You know, like you said, he mentioned Mary Jo on fire, right? So, like, I need to step in. So it's like, you know, and also how he kind of views everything is like, I am king, or he views himself as God, right? All you guys are my subjects, right? I do with you as I please, right? My enemies I take out, but if I want to gain you, I'm going to, you know, take over you and use your power for my benefit, right? So he kind of views everything as, like, for example, case in point is when he just rolled up when he was having that meeting with, when the Gorosei were having that meeting with Vivi's father. I think I said the name wrong.
King Cobra,
right? He kind of just rolled up like, I don't care who knows if I exist or not. I do what I want, like, you know, how that thing. So it's kind of like he kind of views everything and everyone as my subjects and my domain. Like, I can do with you as I please. I can control you, you know? So it's like that mindset. I don't see why he wouldn't do this to the, it's not like Elite Force that, you know, only them. If I want to do it to the CP0, I'm going to do it too, you know? And then, like, right. So I kind of see that with his personality.
All right.
Yeah, I like it. I think, in general, any relevance to the CP0 and Imu would be dope, right? Like, if he's using them to take over bodies, etc. And he, like you said, has been listed as like one of their most prominent members of the organization. I never noticed the eyes thing. I did like the tie-in with the Go board and the Othello board or Reversi board. It's not really pushback, I guess. It's more, if Imu was to do this, I would like it to have more permanent, like, consequences. Does that make sense? Like, Gunko seems to be damaged, like, as a result of this possession. Like, she's not, like, she has bandages all over her body or whatever. Who knows what Guernica has, because he's kind of covered or whatever. But I feel like if it's happening consistently, there should be some major physical trade-off. And maybe we have that. We just haven't seen it for him. Or maybe, like, once Imu's done with you, you have to be gone. Like, you can't survive and continue to do your day-to-day CP0 job. But that's more minor stuff. Like, it's nothing crazy. So
I actually thought of it, but that's kind of just thinking if Imu's kind of done with him. What if he has...
That's true.
Like, for example, because Larry brought out, Gunko's his or hers, you know, in the Knights. What if he has one at Gunko, but in the CP0? So each level of his, you know, underling government, he has someone...
Somebody can get possessed.
Yeah, you know, all right, you know... I don't know if he's going to have one in the Gorosei, you know?
I mean, they all, technically.
Yeah, kind of.
I would say the closest would be Saturn.
Right?
Because he was the one that was able to use the pentagrams to summon the other Gorosei, and they couldn't summon themselves.
Yeah, so I guess Saturn or whoever has that scientific spot, maybe, or he chooses which one he deems is his vessel, so to speak, and then obviously the Knights is Gunko, and then the CP0 would be that one. But I don't know if it goes any further beyond that, because you know the CP0 controls a special unit. I don't know if he's gonna do it for each, like, all right, CP9, CP whatever.
And I'll say this too. If this is the case, and it very well could be, this isn't even a knock on it, Imu's slipping. Because if the whole job was, make sure this thing don't get revived, and you got your guy there, and Kaido there with Luffy, pull up yourself. You telling him to go handle it. Like, start possessing, start doing your thing, and making sure he don't come back. But he didn't do that, so. He hasn't really started moving, or Imu hasn't really started moving now until Joy Boy awoke, or like the Nika fruit awoke. But if you could have done it before with Guernica and you didn't do it, you out here blaming Saturn. That's all you. That's all you, bruh.
Yeah.
But I like it.
All right. Yeah, so his name can be Guernica, but in Japanese it's Garunika. All right. Just for those that
They keep
don't
saying
know.
Ghetto Nika.
Ghetto Nika is hilarious. Ghetto Nika.
It sounds like ghetto, but it's Garu Nika. So if I said Ghetto Nika, then I'm wildin'. All right. So my next theory focuses on killing him. Okay. So if y'all mess with it, let me know, because I put some hard work into this one. All right. I have another theory. I believe Saint Killingham is a fisherman, and he may have revealed that the Killingham Remo Shifu family was once the original royal family of Fishman Island, only to erase their history 800 years ago and become celestial dragons, just like the Dokihote family did with Dressrosa. Let me explain. In the latest chapter, we're introduced to Remo Shifu Killingham for the first time with his face debut. His appearance carries several visual cues associated with Fishman. He has long, distinct eyelashes, similar to Hoodie Jones and Madame Charlie. He displays sharp teeth, like Jack and Dillinger, and many known fishmen. He appears to have gill-like slits on the left side of his neck. He wields a trident, a weapon commonly used by fishermen warriors like Aladdin and King Neptune, but his happens to be a bit crooked. If Killingham is a fisherman, that raises a huge question. How could a fisherman become a celestial dragon when the world government has openly discriminated against his kind for centuries? I believe the answer lies in the Void Century. Roughly 800 to 900 years ago, when the world government was founded by the alliance of 20 kingdoms that defeated the ancient kingdom. While we don't have the full list of all 20 kingdoms, 12 family names have been confirmed to reside in Marijoa, with the exception of the Nefertaris. So we have the Roseward, Don Quixote, Garland, Shepherd, Man Mayer, Marcus, Topman, Ethan Barron, Jay Garcia, Nefertari, Emu's family from Nerona, and now the Remo Shifu, Killingham's lineage. So what if the Remo Shifu family were the original rulers of Fishman Island before the Neptune family? Just like how the Don Quixote family gave up Dressrosa and the Riku family took over afterward, could the Neptunes have replaced the Remo Shifu after they joined the Ancient Alliance? That brings us to a critical point. Why would a Fishman royal family betray Joy Boy in the Ancient Kingdom? We know Joy Boy was an ally to the Fishman Island. They held 2 poneglyphs, including a road poneglyph, and were entrusted with the massive Ark Noah to fulfill a sacred promise. Joy Boy even wrote an apology to Poseidon, expressing regret for breaking that promise. So, what went wrong? What went wrong? I believe Joy Boy foresaw the Ancient Kingdom's defeat, and knowing he couldn't keep his promise, sent an apology letter to the Fishman Islands royal family, who had long dreamed of reaching the sunlit world above. That broken promise turned to resentment, and in their anger and despair, the Remo Shifu family accepted Imu's offer, a place among the celestial dragons on Mari Joa, where the sun shines brightest. They gave up their heritage, erased their history, and traded a dream of liberation for power and sunlight, becoming one of the founding celestial dragon families. Now, centuries later, we may be witnessing a Fishman celestial dragon in St. Killingham, carrying the sins of a forgotten betrayal and standing as living proof that even those who once followed Joy Boy can be flipped.
I love it. I love it so much for a couple reasons. One, I thought you were going to point this out. And I was hyped. The people saw me, I was cheesing. The castle in Fishman Island has this giant dragon above it. Mm-hmm. And if St. Killingham is from some dragon lore race, that could be why. And his name, the Remo Shifu, however you pronounce it, apparently it means swimming instructor or swimming forms instructor. If there's some sort of swimming related there, could be Fishman Island. That's a little light, a little looser. But I've always wondered why they have that giant dragon on top of the castle of the palace of Fishman Island. And if it's because St. Killingham's family is represented by that dragon, oh my God, bro.
So have you guys ever questioned why, like, the Neptune family happens to have bare minimum knowledge about their history?
Mm-hmm. I know you have before.
Yeah. The only thing that's ever been related to us was that Orihime knew that Poseidon and Joy Boy were meant to exist at the same time. That's the farthest we've ever got with any information. And the royal information that was passed down was about the poneglyphs. That's it.
Yeah.
But everything else, nothing exists past then. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Ignorance is bliss. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I really don't.
That's a good point. No, those are both good theories, man.
I love it. I like this one more than the other one. I ain't gonna lie.
Of course. This one was
It's he.
So.
And it shows because no matter what, even if they did give you, even if the Celestial Dragons gave you their old kingdom, it still shows they don't hold you at a higher power or a higher respect. Mm-hmm. No, they just still view you as, insects, and we can still do what you want,
So I gotta ask you. Same way I asked Corey and them on Moon Piece. If Killingham is a fishman, is he the biggest Uncle Tom in anime fiction?
Nah, it's still Itachi.
Yo, 800 years?
Yeah, bro.
Well, maybe not him specifically, but his family? That lineage?
Yeah.
800 years?
They needed to do what they needed to do.
Itachi did his thing. It was terrible. That's one bad night, technically.
So I will say this. So I do think that Imu saw the threat level of the fishmen and said that we need to have them on our side the same way he's doing with Elbaf. And remember what they were trying to do with giants. They were trying to create their own. What can we say? That they're probably trying to create their own fishmen too on Marijoa. Because if they know the secret that the world is sinking and this place eventually will sink too, why not crossbreed with the fishmen? And it would also bring up the possibility, right, that the first Vanderdecken, who decided to search after Poseidon 800 years ago, after Joy Boy passed, after the Ancient Kingdom passed, when he went down there, he could have been related to the world government to some degree. He might have been sent there after he went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But we know what Vanderdecken is here now. Vanderdecken the 8th.
Yeah.
And he's part human.
He is.
And we have a bunch of hybrid humans too. So I could see how future generations could possibly be it.
Yeah. And I wonder, because like we all know there's different type of species or I guess breeds of fishmen, if you will, right? But I want to know if Oda, because if you notice, we've never really seen one Gillingham in his full, I guess, human or non-ability form. Mm-hmm. And even now, even the hybrid, guess what's, would be different is his lower half, but we see it's still in his hybrid form. So either Oda's playing on something, still hiding the thing for us, or where we said, like, even like what Dillinger, right? Sebastian mentioned him. He was part fishman, but you also saw that he showed more, human characteristics, even though he was part fishman, but fighting fish, And if you look at it, it's so weird. We don't know how they did it because a fighting fish is not like another fishman. That's like a full-on piranha, like a giant piranha, or then, then human-wise. So I wonder for also too if it was like their class was chosen, like Cringham's family, because they didn't resemble much like also discrimination there, all the other fishermen, and that's probably why they were held in a higher class or whatever. I wonder if that's part of it.
I'll offer up a better idea. If Emu was living during the Void Century the entire time, and Poseidon and Joy Boy were existing, and if my theory runs true, that Poseidon created the Calm Belt to limit the world government's reach, which is why they started building the wolf bridges, right? If I told you the reason why he recruited the Remo Shifu family was because once Poseidon passes away, if he knew that would reincarnate into another fishman, he just was like, yo, I'd rather have fishmen under me who could possibly have this woman or mermaid or goldfish woman appear again, and then I could break the Calm Belt itself. And also, I'd have an ancient weapon in my possession, the same way I have an ancient weapon by Uranus. So it's like, I would have two already.
To have one birth in Mary Joa.
Exactly.
So I guess my question for that, because I like that. My question is, then why is it Shirahoshi who's now becoming Poseidon?
They don't know that she was born with it. Because Oda Hime is also a mermaid.
Yeah. Because it could technically be anyone.
It could technically be anyone.
Does a mermaid princess, does it have to be the princess? Does it have to be
It doesn't have to be a princess. It's just the mermaid.
It's going to come, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been so long that he's probably like, yo, Oda Hime didn't have it. These people didn't have it. We don't know if she has it.
You got to keep a fishman with you just in case.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
But if Miosgar told that like Shirahoshi had this power, she would have been captured immediately, or they would have sent out to King Neptune some type of parlay, like, yo, like you have this status at the Reverie, but like you have diplomatic immunity to everything.
It would have became like you have to marry Saint Gillingham.
Yeah,
or something like that, so that we can have control over that power.
It's so weird though. Like you think about it. That I guess the mermaid Poseidon comes around every 800 years. Like that's when it's born around.
Well, from Oda Hime, this is the only information we got, is that when Joy Boy exists, Poseidon exists. They can't exist without the other. And the reason why Shirahoshi was birthed was because Luffy was birthed too. That's what Queen Oda Hime said to Fukaboshi and the other two brothers.
So I guess somehow through inherited will, they knew, I guess, their counterpart was going to be awakened around this time, so they kind of
probably
came into be.
Because when Shirahoshi is younger than Luffy, so by the time Luffy was already here.
Wait, so Luffy ate the devil fruit at what age, though?
That's what I was about to get to.
He ate the devil fruit at 7?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's 19 now. So how old is Shirahoshi? 12?
She's 16?
Yeah, 16.
I mean, still.
No, if the timing, how old was she when she unlocked the ability?
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's Luffy, if it's when Luffy's the devil fruit,
I can't search it up. I don't have any internet.
If you want to count, if we actually seen it, if that's the time she unlocked it, it's when Luffy was punching Noah, unless she already locked it already.
No, she unlocked it as a kid.
She unlocked it as a kid when Mio's guard and Odahime were here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chat, when was that?
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
Because chat would have a better idea for us too. Because we might be actually stumbling upon something.
Yeah, hold up, man.
Chat, when was that? When did Shirahoshi activate her power? What age? I know you guys know.
Chat about to disappoint. Hold up. Let me see.
Nah, chat's not gonna disappoint, bro. They've been on point with us.
They be lying, bro.
When did she actually like activate it?
Age 4, age 6. These are just ages, pictures of her. But when did she activate?
It looks like when she was 6.
Wait, so who said it? Did it say it? Did the king say it, or we got it through like a flashback?
When did Luffy eat his? At 7? And
yeah.
And she's what? How old?
The chat's saying 6 to 8. That don't help, man.
That does. It's
Okay.
around 6 to 8 though.
Okay.
Wait, but who said it though? Was it like during a flashback, or was it during Fishman?
It was under flashback.
Yo, bro, you don't remember?
No.
Mio's guard came through. He was gonna shoot Odahime, and then like all of a sudden, Shirahoshi cried out, and the sea, the Neptunians came through and shocked everybody. Like even Hoodie was there and he was shocked. Like everybody. You don't remember this? She was a child. Go back, bro.
I might have to go back.
I'm trying to look at her wiki page real quick, man. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
Childhood, 16 years ago, merely a baby. No. When she was 6, that's what she was 6 years old.
She was 6 years old.
We're getting a lot of 6s in this.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, she was 6.
So that's crazy.
So it was
6.
around the same time Luffy had to have eaten it. Because Luffy's 3 years older than her. He's 19. She's 16.
I don't think the 2 times match up close enough. But either way, they're both alive.
No, because remember, Lawrence said he ate it around 8 years old.
I think.
So that's still like within the time limit of 3 years.
Because Ace is like what?
That's what I'm saying. So when Luffy ate the devil fruit, she spawned her devil fruit. She spawned Poseidon's power. And
That's why we need Lionel.
It's close as hell.
This is why we need Lionel.
Hold on. Even if it's like a year apart, it's still close as hell. It's not like 20 years later. It's not 10 years later. It's not 5. It's literally within a year.
But Luffy, I'm pretty sure he was 7 years old when he ate when he was with Shanks and he ate the fruit.
Yeah, but he's still 3 years older than her.
Yeah, it's the point is the goal is to have it. Luffy has the fruit eaten.
Yeah.
Then she awakens the power. If it's before, we're a little off here. But if Luffy's eating the fruit already, then we need distress and the fact that she has it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we see those 2 elements.
Yeah.
We could be reaching. We could. I know we took some time on that. We could be reaching. But I kind of like it.
So put it this way. Luffy is 8 years old, you said, when he ate the fruit?
7.
7. So he's 7 years old when he ate the fruit.
I don't even know if that's true. Is that true?
When he's 10, hold on. When he's 10, she's already 7.
So it lines up then.
Yo, it kind of lines up.
Because Ace is like 3 years older than Luffy.
He was 5 or 6, bro. I knew it. He wasn't
5 or
7.
6?
7 is. I knew 7 was off. Yeah, approximately when he was 5 or 6. And Go Move 5, 6. I feel like that tracks.
They be wrong. First of all,
right,
go
man.
to the thing.
All right, anyway, let's
and they're giving you 2 different numbers.
Let's
bro.
move past it. Move past it. It's close enough.
All right.
It's close enough.
Unless Ace was like 9 when they met Luffy.
Yeah, but those are my 2 theories, man. So
I love it.
I hope you guys really like it. I wanted to mention like the Fisherman Revolution from 200 years ago, but it really just doesn't fit in the theory, and I don't think I don't think that Killingham's family or just like a fisherman would be brought into royalty just like that unless they were also a vessel like Gunko. And that doesn't seem to be the case.
But they could have still been tasked with stopping the rebellion 200 years ago.
But he's also called a saint. And they could have been tasked with fighting the fishermen, like you said, against the other fishermen, which would be... Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's your people out there.
Yeah.
Go handle that.
All right, but that's all I got to say. So let's read like 10 super chats. Let's dive in, and then we'll go back into the chapter.
All right. We got 5 from Fellwinter Peak. It says, do you think Rox Dieselbeck will live up to the hype? Yes. I recall a lot of people being disappointed in Kaido after everything was said and done. Disappointed in Kaido's backstory, sure. I don't think anyone was disappointed in Kaido as a villain, right? Like, he lived up to the hype, in my opinion.
Lived up to the hype.
Yeah, he was definitely strong enough to get that title. A lot of arguments about the awakening stuff, sure. I think most people were disappointed in the backstory for Kyle. They thought it was a little bland.
That's mostly.
I think he lived up to the villain hype.
Yeah, because
for the most part.
Yeah, he sold us on the villain, and we know how much he was holding back and wasn't fighting to his full potential. And this dude was a goon, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
he was a goon, bro.
All right, another 5 from Evan Bridgeford. You and your pirate crew are falling from a sky island. How would you save your ship from getting destroyed? No octopus. Hashtag Larry Tags. Hashtag like the stream.
We might just pass away, bro. It depends on where I'm at in my career. Yo.
I'll find a way, man. How we're falling from a sky island, so I'm gonna assume we picked up some like dials. I'll have everybody use the dials to repel before impact, and maybe we lose some arms, but we'll live.
I'm just gonna galaxy impact, bro.
Okay.
The ground.
Another 99 something. I'm not sure what currency this is, but thank you from Jay Turla. Can Shanks solo the current Blackbeard pirates? No. I'm saying no. I might get other answers otherwise, but I'm saying no. Y'all disrespectful. Y'all so disrespectful, but okay.
Yo.
Y'all disrespectful. Yo, y'all are terrible. Y'all know it's not. Y'all know he can't do that, bro. Chill
I'm
out.
not getting into it.
Go do your thing, bro.
I'm not.
Say what you feel.
I'm good.
Honestly,
I know where it's gonna lead to, bro.
you would have to prove to me that he can't.
Listen, bro. I'm starting to learn that being gaslit is a negative choice on my behavior, bro.
Y'all gaslighting me with y'all responses right now, but whatever. Anyway, another 10 from Spencer Jones. Everybody who believes in humans reincarnating into animals hate to see law coming. LOL. Just being random. Hashtag Shonen Showdown Syndicate Dictator Ship. Hashtag send help. Hashtag free Kumar. Kumar, he be alright, man.
Kumar be good.
He be good, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But shout out to Spencer Jones and the Shonen Syndicate, bro.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it over there.
Let it, guys.
Another 5 from Death Sticks. Naruto would pay the Larry tax. Luffy wouldn't, giving him the win. 100% true. 100%. Naruto pay taxes, man.
Jesus.
He do. So do I. So I guess. Damn. Clowning myself now. Another 20 gifted memberships for Roy Stokes. Thank you so much, Roy. Throw the Nakama fists up for those getting them. I think we got another gifted memberships of 20 from John D. Water. And I think he gifted another 10 at some other point. So thank you so much.
Thank you so
guys.
much. Who is it?
Yeah. John D. Water and
Yo, guys,
Roy
John
Stokes.
D. Water. Everybody, please say thank you to John D. Water for the community support.
And Roy
Big
Stokes.
ups. And Roy Stokes. Of course, Roy Stokes.
Yeah, I hope I'm not
Dude
missing
does his
anybody
thing
else.
every week. Thank you so much, guys. W's in the chat for them, please.
No. Another 5 from Ron Anime. Just want to say Naruto is way faster than the fastest characters in One Piece. His fastest is 16 sextillion times the speed of light. Hashtag Naruto with low diff.
I don't know, bro.
They use those terms?
Yeah, we ain't getting into math, bro.
They use those terms?
This ain't anime death battle, bro.
They use those, they use those terms. If they was out here like I'm moving sextillion times.
No.
Like,
He's probably going off of like how fast speed of light is compared to them dodging it in a certain amount of time. Even like when Naruto was versing Madara in his Sage form. Madara did like a light attack and Naruto dodged it.
Okay.
And they considered Naruto as fast as like the...
Okay.
Yeah, it was like crazy number. So, yeah.
Okay.
But also too, if you want to go by that, because Zoro's like literally not the fastest person in the One Piece world. He's not, and he's literally
Usopp is.
Okay. Another 5 from Jonathan Smith. Love you guys' content. Thank you. We're trying to switch it up a little bit. as
Love
can
you
see.
too, man.
Some
Give
of
me a
the new
hug.
stuff.
Bring it in.
Another 5
Right now.
from Miracle D Mayo. CD Larry gets down on one knee. What would you guys like me to do with the bodies who didn't pay their Larry tax?
Eat them.
Blink,
I want to see you eat them. I want to be entertained.
it says blink twice if it's the
And
usual.
then bring your children to watch.
Oh
Okay?
my God.
I'm on that timing right now.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
He
That
got
was dark.
flipped, y'all.
Yeah, that was
He got flipped, y'all.
it. Imagine Marv installed chairs. Yo, got just flipped.
Bro.
Innovation, Marv. Innovation.
That's a little expensive. Bro.
Yeah,
you
that's
need,
what
you need
expensive.
trap doors.
Yeah, he has to
and-
like get new floors.
This is carpet. Like,
Yeah,
nah.
bro.
We're gonna have to
Injectocito, cuz. How does that franchise still exist, yo? I'm still on that. Another 5 from Red Eye Itachi. Luffy didn't even know hockey until he was an adult, and we talking about what Naruto didn't know at 12. Yeah, man, I don't know what Lawrence is on with that,
Yeah, Lawrence
bro.
be bugging.
He was wilding.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Didn't know at 12.
We can't get back into it. We got super
His
chats to
shadow
read,
clone?
bro.
Is that what we're talking about?
We got super chats to read.
His shadow clone?
That's,
Oh my gosh, I'm gaining knowledge from my shadow clone. How could I not know that at the age of 12? Oh my gosh.
How would you know if they didn't tell you? Anyway, another 10. It's
you.
Adrian D. Man. I love how Larry predicted Gabon number 2 on ship. LOL.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that part.
Okay.
I'm so hyped.
I don't know what that means.
Wait,
but
what?
Sure.
With Gabon, second strongest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Another 5 from Dopey. Can I get a real debate about Escanor versus Kaido? Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag Throbbing for Robin. I have not seen 7 Deadly Skins.
I haven't seen it either. You said 7 Deadly Skins?
Did I?
What you
My
watching, bro?
fault. My fault. Freudian slip. 7 Deadly Sins. My bad.
I know that Escanor from the clips that I've seen, because I've never seen the show. He's a beast. He's a beast. And he be like trolling people too, which I like a lot.
Okay.
He'd
Yeah.
be your favorite character, Lawrence.
I haven't
From
seen
what I've seen, yeah.
Who's this?
Escanor. He's like I'll show you what he looks like. But I haven't watched the show.
He'd be like, how do I explain what he'd be doing? Because I don't know his character too well, but like, if you sliced him, he'd be like, that's it? He'd be like cut right through his chest, and he'd be like, I expected more. But how could I expect more? I let you cut me to this degree. It wasn't because you chose to. It's because I let you. And it's like he's just like a super troll, but he's just that strong. So
Okay.
yeah.
I should put.
Hopefully I did it justice explaining.
We got another 5 from Miracle D Mayo. Law versus a pirate with the chimera fruit awakened big horse. What's the difference? What's the diff? Lawrence, man. Lawrence got it. I thought it was when y'all say law, I read law from One Piece originally, bro.
Law saw our boy killing him in his horse form, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he balled his fist up. I know it. I know it, bro. He did the Trey Rags. He was just like with the red shirt.
I put the Kaido versus Escanor in the chat, man. Y'all let us know, because I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. We got another 2 from Majin D Sage. Law only hating because he think he can box Kurama. Another month at Nakama status from Xavier O'Dilly. Sup bros, love the commentary as usual. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another 5 from Ron Anime. Luffy can't even beat Kaguya with Sasuke on his side. He does not have crazy destructive power, but go off Seb or sealing jutsu or anything useful. Hashtag Sebi. I mean,
Nah, he'd be able to. He'd be able to. Kaguya's
the moon shouty. Moon goddess girl.
She's the
So we got the moon.
Otsutsuki that birthed the Rikudu Sage, which birthed Ashura and Indra, which later became the reincarnations of Madara and Hashirama.
Mm-hmm.
So the moon versus the sun.
Talk to him, Lawrence. Talk to him. Yeah.
Sounds like Luffy versus Emu to me.
Yeah. We got Lunarians, man. We got that.
Come on.
We
bro.
got that over here. It's light work.
Continue this, bro.
It's light work this way.
Go on, bro. Let's get into the second part of the chapter.
All right.
I think Law should just fight Naruto.
I got Lawrence.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
Give me the chance. Yo, give me the chance.
Yeah.
I swear.
You're terrible. He said he got whiskers. That's enough.
I was about to add
That's enough. You just start swinging at him.
to add it to it too.
Oh man, some of them toes. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
See what's up.
I need more animals. This ain't enough.
Okay. All right. I do not attack or abuse animals, y'all.
All right, we're just going to jump into the second part of the chapter, and then we'll go back to Super Chats, guys. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video, and thank you to all of you for being here and enjoying yourselves. All right, we jump back into the chapter as Nami notices that there are even more sleep tids than before. Jinbei observes that the situation is getting out of hand. Usopp, panicking, desperate, shouts toward Dory and Bragi, pleading for them to snap out of it. He begs them to see what they're doing to Elbaf, demanding to know why they look like that and where their pride has gone. Meanwhile, the giants near Branch Route 8 begin to realize that saving the children may be impossible under these conditions, highlighting why even someone as capable as Saul couldn't do it either. Suddenly, female giants who resemble some of the corrupted sleep tids call out to Yova and Bent, urging them to wake up, promising they're coming to save them. Somers, standing firm, asks, how far do we go, Emu? Or Great One. Killingham answers coldly, noting the board is completely in our color. Above all this, Emu looks down from above and declares they will all collapse beneath the weight of their own personal demons, continue until it breaks. The Holy Knights respond, until what breaks? Emu replies, the heart of Elbaf. They go on to say that the nation would have been subjugated long ago, if not for Harold's pathetic failure. Flashback 2 minutes earlier, deep in the underworld, we see Gibbon falling with Gunko's arrows lodged in his chest, plummeting fast. Chopper gives chase, realizing too late that he didn't think this through, but he reminds himself, I could save him. As Gibbon falls, Chopper catches up, and just before they hit the ground, he activates Guard Point, cushioning their fall and saving them both. Elsewhere, Haruden and Loki are locked in a heated argument, Loki shouting that Haruden murked their father. Haruden fires back that he was his father too. The rest of the group tries to break them up, yelling that Chopper just dropped in from above. They look around to see if anyone else noticed. No one did. Loki mutters, they must have come down from beyond the mountains. Luffy asks how he knows it was Chopper, sensing another weakened presence with him. Sanji remarks that it sounds serious and wonders if they fell from the sun world. Zoro, already moving, says they need to go find them. So, Seb, what did you think about this part of the chat?
I thought it was pretty funny that they were talking about like Dory and Bragi and their pride and everything, like Usopp being the one reacting. Maybe funny's not the word, but I did laugh a little bit about it. Like this has been his inspiration, like his reason for wanting to come to Elbaf for so long, and it's being like ruined. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like I wanted to go to Elbaf. These guys are everything I want to be. They represent all the things that I want to represent about this like myself. Like they're the version of me that I want to be, and they're being the exact opposite of that right now in front of him, and he's like seeing it live. It's kind of crazy, which tells me that people have been trolling like, this isn't really Usopp's arc. He's not doing anything. He's probably going to be the one that changes this, in my opinion. I think Usopp's going to have a major role in reversing what's happening with the Giants here, and maybe even bringing the culture back as a whole. But I'll let Oda cook on that one. I laughed at the moms reacting to the kids sleeping and stuff. Like the mom, like, wake up, Bent. Like, I thought it was so funny to me because he's terrified of you. Like, you're the thing he thought of. And, like, now you're yelling at him for being abducted and nightmarified. Like, it's just kind of funny to me. Like, I get it. But they're coming to save him. So I don't know if y'all remember, all the Elbaf giants were terrified of their moms and wives, and now apparently they're gonna strap in. So we'll see what that looks like. I like this little conversation that we got from Emu and Killingham and St. Somers. Like, how far do you want us to go? Like, the board's completely black. It's our color. We're doing all this stuff. Like, how far do you want us to go? And she's like, until it breaks. They're like, till what breaks? The heart of Elbaf, the spirit of Elbaf, the thing that's driving them.
That ass.
And then Emu gives the little subtle, the country would have been subjugated years ago if not for Harold's miserable failure. So I know we've gone back and forth a few times about whether or not Harold is on the up and up, if he's a good guy or not, or if he was in cahoots with Emu. I know I'm not I've leaned heavier towards the he's in cahoots, like he's a bad guy. I don't know where this leaves us. Like, it's still like up in the air because
You know where it is, bro.
I don't, because miserable failure.
It's up and it's stuck.
Miserable failure can be two things. Like, it can be a lot of things, really. Like, it's vague. It's not concrete. I'm still weighing on it. But failure implies that a mission or task was given and you failed to complete it. Yeah. So to me, I think it leans a little bit more credence to Harold is an op. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The Chopper Gabon thing, I thought it was funny. I really did. Chopper running on air. I was like, how'd he do that? Like,
he a reindeer.
Yeah, but like, he don't have reindeer powers for real. You know what I mean?
He got blue nose instead of red.
Yeah.
He a Crip.
It did remind me of him running across the sky in Drum Island, which is one of the best Chopper scenes in the whole story. The guard point working from this distance, I was like...
We called it last episode.
Yeah, but deep down, I'm like, yo, should he be good, though? Like, Chopper fine, right? And it's like, this is like Elbaf. Like, a whole realm above.
Yeah, like, you fell pretty far.
You've fallen from basically a Sky Island. I don't want to say too much of that, but like, it's damn near a Sky Island. And Chopper just good? Like, that's kind of wild. That's probably the most impressive thing Chopper's done in a minute.
Do you think this drop...
He just Kaido'd, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it beats that drop that Kaido did off Sky Island?
Nah.
He ain't punched through a ground.
Yeah. But he guard pointed. Loki and Haruden's like little conversations, cool, whatever. The Luffy thing though, is that the voice of all things? I know that's I don't want to say it's the consensus, but that's been the conversation because Luffy's noticing a power up in himself right now. Like, why did I know that was Chopper? Like, why did I know it was Chopper? Like, I shouldn't have known that it was Chopper or whatever. Like, how did he sense this specific being and then was able to tell the weakened, like they're weakened? I guess they are weakened, but.
Unless Zoa and Devil Fruits can speak to each other.
I ain't go that far in my estimations here, but maybe. Yeah.
They'd be aware of each other, right? If you're at a high enough degree. Like if you're synced up with your Devil Fruit enough, it's probably possible.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. But I thought my mind went voice of all things or some sort of advanced observation hockey technique.
Could be that too, yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like that's a more simple answer.
Yeah. And then I always like Zoro being like protective of Chopper. Kind of always have. Yeah. So him saying we got to search for them, I kind of like that. But that's really it.
All right. Lawrence Kuhn?
Honestly, I started laughing when they were bringing out why Saul couldn't beat them. He was like, no wonder Saul couldn't do it. Yeah, because I'm thinking, because he's the only one that has hockey. And the whole reason that he's the only one of us that has hockey, and he couldn't do it. You know, he said a little shot at the Giants, but that just made me laugh, right? And it's just rough, like for Jinbei aspect, and I think not just Jinbei, it's all of them that you see all that's going on in Elbaf. And y'all literally can't do nothing about it, right? And then literally, so I want to ask you guys a question. Would you guys count this? Because you all know that, all the Straw Hats kind of have, their own dreams, their goals, their ambitions, right? Do you count, we already know what Usopp's is, but do you count this as Usopp's dream, right?
As what?
Because I know he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea, but we also know that he kind of linked that to Elbaf, right? They could be one and the same, or they're kind of two separate things. Do you guys count him being a brave warrior of the sea as part of him like reaching Elbaf, right? Because we already know that was, I guess, kind of his goal beforehand, and then when he met that, it was like not really his purpose for it, but I think he kind of centered it towards that. Because he always said, "I want to be a brave warrior," like So
are you saying that Usopp's gonna accomplish his dream on Elbaf?
No. Well, I was actually bringing out. This is actually one of the very few times where like someone's dream, especially on the Straw Hats, turned into a nightmare, right? Because all of those people, like they achieve their dreams, but Usopp's little dream of becoming going to Elbaf and becoming going with the warriors and being a warrior like an Elbaf warrior, right? A brave warrior of the sea, literally turns into a nightmare where he can't do anything about it, right? Because Sebastian believes that he may do something about it, but I'm like, where his hockey's at, he literally can't do anything. Like, I'm not saying, to me, if he was close enough, he might have, even though he didn't, I don't know if it reached him, But I don't see how he wouldn't get knocked out from Iwasaki, right?
Chill out, bro. He's the Pirate King crewmate, man.
Usopp's,
Yeah, I gotta stop the disrespect
Usopp's
of
will
Usopp,
is not
man.
strong, Sebastian.
Yeah, I gotta stop the Usopp disrespect.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
getting knocked out.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen for the Straw Hats.
It's not happening.
You gotta understand, there's plot attached.
It's
to
not
that.
happening.
No, I know
There's
that's what we're
extreme
noticing.
plot.
Because to me, he's a viable case of someone getting knocked out. Because we've seen people, I think, supposedly like New World veterans or people with, like even the Kuja pirates. They're supposed to be like strong-willed warriors, and they got knocked out. Why isn't Usopp? And that's where you can say the little plot armor.
They're not Straw Hats.
They're not. Yeah, the plot armor.
Yeah.
Right. Because Usopp.
It's not just plot armor. Y'all act like
for
Usopp doesn't
it
have
is.
extreme displays of like strong will. Like he has that.
No.
He does.
He also has extreme.
When,
cases
hold on,
of
when
non-strong
Usopp
will.
stands 10 toes on something, he stands 10
It's not-
toes.
it's not
he
about
takes
his will,
the
though.
beating.
It's
He
not his
has
will,
that
though.
kind of a will inside him.
It's not his will, bro.
All right, bro.
Legit.
All right, bro.
We legit saw where, for example, Perona's ability legit attacks kind of like your will to make you like depressed or whatever. It really didn't work on Usopp because he legit said, "My will,
That
like,
was
I'm
not-
already weak.
that
Like,
was
I'm
not
already
will,
negative.
though.
I'm already negative."
That's negativity.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
Sebastian.
You can be negative all day.
Sebastian.
Light Yagami is negative. About as negative as you can be.
All right, Sebastian.
Strong, extremely strong will, right? Yeah.
But I'm talking about negative in himself, right? This is an extreme case where we saw that Conquerors, right? Part of it said in the manga multiple times by Ray and Jinbei, right? But Conquerors is the art of not doubting. Yeah, that's Conquerors, right? But also to have
Technically, I said
itself.
hockey is the art of not doubting in general. Not
I
just
thought it was just,
Conquerors. No, it was
that
hockey
makes
in
it even
general.
better,
Yeah.
Sebastian. Because
I'm gonna give you that.
That works worse for Usopp because Usopp, his main thing is his whole character, the whole negative thing, it's about himself. He believes in his crew, but not himself, right? He doesn't believe that he can do these things. And that's why he tries to soak himself up with the way I can do it is I prove to myself that I can be a great warrior or a brave warrior of the sea to overcome that. But we see no progression in that. You know, we saw one instance after the post-time skip where he said, I'm no longer going to be the weakling trio, right? We were all hyped for that. And then we see it get worse. Yes, he's fighting stronger people, but the main thing is that's what I'm saying, from it started from, his will was that weak that he never believed in himself, and that's why his will's not strong. So now I'm saying is now your little dream in Elbaf, right? Gets the ultimate foe, Emu's presence or vessel is here, right? But now your dream to be here with these warriors is just turned to a nightmare, not just for you, but for all of the Elbaf giants.
And I'm telling you,
and he can't do anything about it.
He's gonna be the one to change things.
Maybe, but I just thought it was interesting because this is the first time we see it where someone's so close to their dream, so to speak. But it's a literal nightmare for him, and it's caused by the kind of threat to all the Straw Hats. You know, literally the total blocker of dreams for everyone. The oppressor of dreams for everyone is here suppressing Usopp's dream. Kind of, what is he gonna do about it? But to me, it's gonna be Usopp. I mean, it's gonna be Luffy because they kind of turn it up. Literally, Luffy is like kind of like Nika against Eve, so it's not gonna be Usopp. I don't see that. It's gonna be like that. And Luffy's the kind of the part, and it's actually one I wanted to mention. Usopp's Emu's the repressor of dreams. Luffy's kind of like the liberator of people's dreams. He helps you achieve your dreams, right? So with that in mind, and that's one thing going by what Larry's saying, the whole, I don't know how I feel about, for example, everyone becoming Nika, right? Like that way. But what if that's kind of the idea of like, all right, what is Luffy's dream? Is to everyone to be free like him. You know? The most free person is Nika, right? The way to make everyone that is to kind of make them their own Nikas in their own right, you know, so to speak. But how is that possible? I don't know. But to me, it's like it's to a certain extent in their own right, I guess, whatever. But it's good to me. It's going to help Usopp achieve dream. It's going to be Luffy because that's literally his role in, I guess, the verse. He helps people achieve their dreams. But anyway, I just want to counter like Usopp's dream is literally turned to a nightmare, and he can't do anything about it, right? And it's all going back to earlier when I was saying before how many times has Emu stepped in. To me, it's just like fed up because going by what you were saying before, like going with Harold, right? But what we've seen in the past, it could just be a change of heart for Harold.
Okay.
Because going back, linking it to Lily, right? How we found out, we don't know where, for her, I guess the D in her name, Lily D. Natari, where it came from. Was she originally part of the D clan? Did she find it out later? We don't know what's what, right? But we do know, like, later on, it's recorded that she has that thing. But it's also linked, but we all know that she was supposed to be part of the 20 kingdoms. And then Emu saying it wasn't for her blunder or failure that this happened. But now we're seeing that, no, she kind of seemed like she kind of flipped her side from Emu's to that. So I wonder if it's the same case with Harold. Whatever reason he was being influenced or enticed to join Emu's side, and then he was just like, nah. Like, you know, and then flipped back to where his people were at.
He reversed,
you know, double reversed. Anyway, 360. Anyway, yeah. So I thought that was interesting, and yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought a little bit when Luffy was running on the air with that when Chopper saved the Gaban too, and I was like, there's no way to affect it. But also too, going back to why I said the whole Kaido's fall, drop, whatever, because, you know, Kaido's huge or whatever, they're smaller. But remember, when Hadrun and his pirates were falling, they thought themselves were as good as done, right? They think Luffy, and even after that drop, and Luffy saved them, they still said, yo, we still took heavy damage. Like, this drop, we didn't just walk off unscathed. Like,
Chopper
you know,
good, yo.
But that's it. Chopper is
wild.
Good. So, but I'm thinking, like, you know, for example, and they're giants. So, like, usually if you're bigger, the drop is going to be, like, less severe or whatever, right? So I'm thinking, but now since they're smaller, way smaller, because they're not giants at all. Can you say that the drop from what Kaido did is higher, like 10,000 meters? Because they're on Elbaf. What I'm trying to say, the difference between if giants are thinking we're as good as done, and they're giants who are used to this the size difference, right? But to them, smaller people, this drop is like practically probably tripled, maybe quadrupled. You know? So I'm thinking, but Chopper survived with not even a scratch, and while saving a bond, while these dudes got saved by Luffy, and still came out with, like, damage.
The funny thing is, people are like, Chopper's a Zoan. He's a human Zoan.
I know. It's not even like, I know, yeah, he's a human Zoan. But you know, these people are hoping that just like how we found out, like, I didn't know where Luffy, and I think even Sengoku turned out to be, like, mythical Hito, you know, that Chopper might be one.
Mythical human.
Humans,
like, we already have those.
Yeah, but they're kind of hoping.
Yes,
right. And Loki, right? It makes me laugh is because he's going bad it with Hadruden, even in that speech. But if you check his wording, he's not really trying to explain himself, right? Or, like, you know, like, because he's my dad too. Yet you took him out, and he's also saying before that, beg me to tell you what's going on. So you know the full story. And it's like he's not really trying to defend himself. I thought it was really weird in his case, where he's not trying to fight for his right, or like, because they legit have you prisoner. They legit are and view you as a criminal and kind of want to take you out, right? But you're not kind of fighting for your freedom. It's kind of like, and then even then we see that he tries to, like, yo, let me free, without explaining your side. Just let me free. Like, without explaining it all. So, like, what's up with you? There's kind of something, there's something deeper here that he's kind of holding back for a reason. I wonder why. You know, because you could easily just say, this is what really happened. You gotta believe me. You're my brother. I didn't take out our father. Because it seemed like he had in the beginning. Like, do you really think I will take out our own dad? Like, you really believe what they say? But now he's like, no, beg me for the answer. Like, you know, it's like, what's up with you, bro? Right? And to me, I think for Luffy, his observation is growing. I know I was thinking again too what you guys were talking about, like possibly the voice of all things. But remember, observation allows you to hear voices too, the voice of that person, right? I think it could be a mixture of both, but we see, for example, even when I don't believe that we got word that Kaido had the voice of all things, but when he heard Big Mom got taken out, he mentioned her voice disappeared, right? And we heard, I think, Law and other people mentioned about people's voices disappearing, right? Even Kobe, he mentioned all these voices disappearing, right? So I think it's getting stronger, the fact that he's able to identify who that voice is. And I think we got a tip of that when he felt, I guess, a little bit of Shanks' hockey. It felt familiar. So to me, it's just all like Luffy, how much Luffy's growing at a fast rate, that his observation is able to feel someone this far away as a Chopper and identify who it is, and also to the state of their strength. Because we all seen that back where Rayleigh do that, right? He said that on Amazon Lily, it was like over 500 animals here that are stronger than you, Luffy. So he's able to pinpoint where they are, how many of them, and their level of strength. Luffy's showing that he's getting towards that level where he's able to sense someone's location, who that person is, and their strength, which is dope. To me, I'll be using observation. As soon as I roll this to an island, I'm sensing observation of that entire island. Like, how many people are here, how strong they are, who was what. Like, that's what I would do. But the fact that
mad
Luffy's getting...
cautious for that, bro.
I would want to know.
You want a scouter? Like, what you good, bro?
It's my own power. It's not like I'm borrowing it.
Just let things happen, man. If you got to fight a dude, you got to fight. Why you got to know how strong everybody is?
What if I wanted to seek out that person because he was strong? What if I found that island was weak and I dip?
What's the fun in that, man?
You want to go to a weak island?
But what if something happens on the island and I was strong?
I think I'm going to use my power till I see fit, bro. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I had to say.
All right. I have to say it again for the people in the back. King Harold was not a traitor to Elbaf. King Harold was a compassionate ruler by nature, one who valued diplomacy and trade over bloodshed. He sought to transform Elbaf's war-torn reputation and replace it with one of peace, culture, and hope. A nation where children could grow up safely, no longer defined by endless battle. 20 years ago, he instructed Saul to build a school for Elbaf. That wasn't on the act of a traitor. It was the act of a visionary. Harold was a warrior who chose to be a warrior in a garden instead of a gardener in a war. And to prove his commitment to peace, he tore the horns from his own head, a symbolic and painful gesture to show his people that Elbaf had moved beyond violence. He knew through prophecy that one of his sons would one day take his life. And yet, even with that knowledge, he showed nothing but love and faith in Haruden and Loki, urging them to stand united for the future of Elbaf once he was gone. So, if you're ready to label King Harold a traitor for possibly defying the world government or Elbaf, then keep that same energy for Queen Lily of the Nefertari family from Alabasta. She too was deemed a failure by Emu after choosing to rebel and walk away from their control. Both Harold and Lily made conscious choices to defy tyranny, not because they were weak, but because they were righteous. If King Harold was indeed eliminated by Loki, the most likely reason is chilling. Emu may have come to Elbaf via a vessel and used Domi Reversi to corrupt Harold to flip him. In that case, Loki was forced to do the unthinkable. Take down his own father, not out of hate, but to save Elbaf from a darkness Harold could no longer control. Similar to Doflamingo and what he did to King Riku, Andres Rosa. King Harold wasn't a traitor. He was a king who sacrificed everything for peace and paid the ultimate price for it. Even Loki has proved it on many occasions that he loved King Harold. And if what I think is going to happen, I think the Straw Hats that are currently captured are going to be used in Domi Reversi as well, and Luffy and gang are going to see them, and they're going to have to take on those guys. That's all I got to say about that part. I ain't got to say nothing else.
Okay.
I'm good.
I like the Domi Reversi on Harold. I like that as a plot point.
Watch.
It'd be cool for Loki to have to deal with that. Like your
Watch.
father and all that. Also, it could even, because how do I say this? If Gunko / Emu was talking about, oh, he failed or whatever, he's a failure, it's possible Harold's spirit, for what you're saying, was so strong that he broke out of the Domi Reversi himself. Or at least tried to. You know?
I expect him. But
That would be crazy.
depends.
Hey.
Holy Knight's been here before, dog.
They have. And they know they know his body, man. They know that man. They was about to visit graves and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. There's something in there. Something went down. We're going to get to the bottom of it one day. But something went down.
Telling you, bro. Y'all better put y'all stocks in King Harold now, bro. Y'all in for a rude awakening. If not,
I'd like to see it.
yeah.
I would like to see it.
Someone said Loki getting flipped, but Manji Loki, because you know it's like Vegeta got the M on his head.
Oh,
So it's like all the
Majin
Elbaf
Loki.
thing, the Maji giant. So he said that Manji Loki. That
Majin.
Majin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Loki.
like, what's Mondi?
Yeah, and I was lost
Majin
too.
Loki?
Majin Loki would be fire,
Yeah.
yo. I'm with that.
All right, let's do 5 super chats, and then we'll jump into the final part. Read the rest of the super chats, and then Discord phone calls.
Okay. We got 5 from Xavier O'Dilly. Do y'all think Shanks had the pentagram on his left arm? Do you think Shanks or Shamrock visited the Gorosei unannounced way back in the Gap?
We talked about this.
Yeah, a while back.
I don't think he had it on his arm. It'd be a good reason as to why he let his arm go, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And I think that was Shamrock that visited the Gorosei, personally.
Yeah, that's Shamrock for
Yeah,
sure.
100% Shamrock.
Yeah.
Another 10 from Diamond Life. Naruto using clones for Rasengan inefficient, but isn't the entirety of Gear 4 inefficient law? Also, what days y'all going into Anime Expo? I got a little something for y'all when y'all pull up. Hashtag Pacers in 7. Why you made me say that, bro? Why you made me say that?
Also, I came at Luffy that he's using Gear 4 wrong only because how he's using his hockey.
He just asked you to keep that same energy.
No, I did. I came on the podcast. I came at Luffy where I said how he should be, and I explained how he should be using his Gear 4 with his hockey, like Bruce Lee.
I just read the super chats, bro. You feel me?
But I already said this in the past. Like I ain't about.
I just read the super
I
chats.
came at Luffy how he's misusing his hockey and his Gear 4.
And I don't know that we've confirmed we're going to Anime Expo yet. I think we're still figuring that out.
In Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still deciding.
Yeah. But another 5. And then, yeah, Diamond, if anything, if we don't make it, just send us to our P.O. box if you can. Another 5 from Cosmos. Imagine all the bridges, Tequila Wolf, etc., turn into a huge pentagram. Oh, nah. And Emu is the fallen Nika from the first world and got corrupted to become the devil.
That would have to be someone's. There's another one after Emu, like as in another foe, right? Because if he flipped Emu, who flipped him? You know what I'm saying? There would be someone other than Emu who's pulling the strings. That's what that would have to mean. Am I wrong?
I suppose. I mean, the thought of that all being a huge pentagram is crazy, but that'd be kind of wild. Another 10 from Luffy Nick. I finally was able to catch Alive again. Gunko's Conqueror's Blast knocked me out for 2 weeks. Do you guys believe Emu's fruit is the first fruit, man-made, or do you think it's a human fruit? Hashtag Larry Tax. I think it's probably a human fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hito, for sure.
Oh, no, I mean, like somebody thought it up.
Oh, yeah, somebody definitely thought
Somebody
I mean,
yeah, it's a dove fruit. So.
yeah, that's what all deaf fruits are.
Yeah, but he's saying like the first fruit, like...
Man-made.
Yeah, like to me, it's different between how Vegapunk describes fruits and what he was trying to say. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but
I mean, it could probably also be a man-made fruit. I mean, Vegapunk duplicated a devil fruit.
Yeah. For like, because me and Sebastian, I think we thought one time it was like through Emu's power, they made this fruit. Emu got the power, and then through his evil ways and suppressing everyone started dreaming of fruits, and then they came in through the power of it.
Or whatever Vegapunk person that was during the Void Century or the Ancient Kingdom saw that this devil fruit existed and tried to recreate it, but changed its
like makeup
and created the Nika fruit.
That's possible. I mean, yeah.
To counter
From the first world, probably. To counter it. Because Vegapunk did it, but he changed the color of Kaido's fruit.
Yeah.
And Momonosuke's pink instead of blue.
Okay. Maybe. We got another 2 from Off-Brand. It says Melon Tea, I believe the YouTuber.
Melon Tree. Is it Melon Tree
It's
or
tea.
Melon Tea? Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
tea. Set on Mosa being Shirahoshi. Kind of agree. I'd have to see her thought process on that.
Oh, Moose?
Yeah.
Calgaras?
No. The Mosa person, that Shaggy.
Oh!
Yeah. I'd have to see her
Who's
thought
this supposed
train.
to be?
Shirahoshi.
Shirahoshi?
I don't.
He has
talking. No. The beard doesn't count.
The beard doesn't count.
Shirahoshi talking to Loki?
Yeah, I have to see how she got there.
That's.
Melon, call us up because I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out.
That sounds insane.
Off-brand, link me that. I gotta see where we got there.
There's absolutely no connection there.
There's got to be something.
There's none.
There's got to be. You don't just say that. There's got to be something there.
Shirahoshi don't even like talking to people.
Low-key, she's too young to even know Loki like that.
Loki called up saying, "So I heard you Poseidon."
Yeah, like how does that? There's nothing there.
I like girls with pink hair, man. What's up?
Did
she look young for him?
Lola have pink? No.
Yeah, she does. Doesn't she? Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't remember.
Another 2 from Joshua Talbot. I'm still mad Carrot didn't join the crew. Me too, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm still
I thought she was gonna join.
She
definitely needed to join.
Yeah, bro. She would have. I don't think she would have been strong enough to fulfill Marv's criteria, what he was asking for. But
she was the closest, though.
She close enough to not be too strong.
She was hands, and then she went to Sulong for him.
Yeah, she was trying to scrap too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Marv, was you carrying for next Nakama, man?
Say that again. What?
Were you carrying for next Nakama or no?
Carrot for next knock? Yeah. Actually, that kind of is really close to what I was thinking.
She had the pause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was Felicia from Darkstalkers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was your
All right,
girl,
one
too.
more, and then
Okay. We got 5 from Ref Beast. It says Luffy equals low ball continental, high ball planetary. Naruto equals low ball planetary, high ball solar plus. Anyone who loves both knows this. Blackbeard is greater than Katakuri twice, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Sure.
All right, for the final part of the chapter. If you guys haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. We enter this part of the chapter. Loki tries to bargain with Gerd and Goldberg for his release, but they're not having it. Frustrated, he calls them a bunch of goody two-shoes. Suddenly, Loki gets a call from his friend Shaggy. We hear a simple hello, okay, followed by someone screaming in pain. Loki tells Shaggy he's busy and to call back later, but Shaggy insists it won't take long. Shaggy explains that he's tied up with something too, but there's one thing he needs to tell Loki. Loki agrees, asking him to keep it down. Shaggy admits he never got the chance to say it before. He won't be able to call for a while. Loki is confused. Shaggy continues, saying that at first their conversations were unsettling, but over time talking to Loki became a source of comfort. So now he just wants to say thank you. Loki is left speechless. Then Haruden rushes in with Giban and Chopper. He urgently tells Gerd to prepare medical supplies. Mr. Ya is severely injured. Luffy, leaning over Giban, tells him he's lucky Chopper's here. Then he praises Chopper, who responds with his usual mix of insults and humble gratitude. Luffy is shocked to learn that Giban was once a crewmate of the Pirate King. He assumes Giban must have been the third strongest on the crew. Zoro agrees, saying it explains why Giban was so tough to fight. With food still in his mouth, Luffy shouts that Giban must know Shanks too. As everyone gathers around, Giban weakly raises 2 fingers and struggles to say, second strongest. Everyone is stunned by how fixated he is on that one detail. Haruden expresses relief that Giban is awake and asks what happened in the Sun World, but Chopper cuts in with urgent news. The giant children have been taken hostage by dangerous enemies, and giant monsters are on a rampage. Suddenly, a powerful surge of haki bursts from above the Sun World and shows itself in the underworld. Giban grits his teeth and mutters, "No, that haki." Everyone senses it. Haruden declares that they must return to the Sun World immediately. Elbaf is in danger. Sweating, but still chewing, Luffy tells Chopper to save his breath. He already gets the picture. Loki, stunned by the overwhelming presence of the haki while laughing, realizes they might actually need him after all. And what did you guys think about the final part of the chapter? We'll start with Law.
This is the part I was talking about earlier where, again, Loki's not explaining himself, but he keeps trying to get them to free him without... Where even though the truth could be the reason why they let you go in the first place, because then they'll be able to, all right, we can trust you now and let you go because we heard your side of the story. But Loki still refuses to get that. And I actually like, this is one I do remember, the other translation, it said than him saying, "Oh, bunch of goody two-shoes." The other one, it says, why so serious? It reminded me of the Joker, so it made me laugh because it kind of fit Loki, the Joker aspect, the jokester. Maybe that. So I like that version of it, but it just made me laugh of that part. Right, and more Loki's conversation with this person Shaggy makes me wonder who this is, but also how do you end up getting identity and forming this relationship with this person, because he seems to know a lot about him. Like, don't tell me this situation came up again, right? That's what Loki says, right? He goes, no, I'm fine. Even though to me it seems like Shaggy, it looks like he may even pass from this. That's what I got from it, that he's going to be in trouble. That he says, I think, where he's uncertain about the future, right? And maybe I read too much into that conversation, but the way Shaggy responded is like, yo, kind of like, I'm wrapped up and I'm going to be in danger, whatever, but he didn't want to worry Loki. Right, so showing that how close they got, because Loki also seems that he's really worried about this person. And makes me question: did you guys meet before? Did you guys just meet on the Denim Mission? And how did that connection form there, or was it through your rampaging? You know, I'm so curious. But then also, how are you forming friends while you're rampaging? You know, so that this relationship and who this is brings up my curiosity, because how worried Loki is about him and how much he actually seems to like confide in Loki from this conversation that we see, and all we get is a beard, right? And even the fact that Gert even mentions, like, you know, like the fact you formed a friend. Why? But also too, it shows like he did it while he was handcuffed, right? Maybe that's because they don't know, right? But while you're handcuffed alone on the underworld, right? That's nice, right? And I was waiting for this moment too, when Luffy finds out finally that Gaban is, you know, Roger's second wing, you know, or, you know, one of Roger's wings, right? His reaction sold it to me, right? And then the reason why he's so strong, even Zoro knows it too. So the comment about him just saying putting up second strongest made me laugh, because it's like the other translation said that, oh, he couldn't just let that go. Like someone saying, nah, I am the second strongest, right? And a lot of people may think, oh, it ties to like, you know, that, oh, Gaban and Ray had this back and forth of a challenging for each other's fifth, and they may even link it to similar to Sanji and Zoro, right? But to my knowledge, I never once read or understood, and you guys can fight me all you want on this, but I just think I never seen it or heard it from Zoro's mouth, where he acknowledged that Luffy is stronger than him, right? He accepted him as his captain, but I never once heard that Zoro expressed, like, yeah, or acknowledged, like, yeah, this man, my captain, is stronger than me, right? Maybe not, he doesn't say those exact words, but even a hint towards that, he never did. Because even that time when they fought back in, Alabasta, right? They both kind of said, about time we find out who's stronger between us, right? And even later on, and you could link that Zoro's probably talking about himself, maybe not, we don't know. Because I'm thinking Zoro's not going to be one to let anyone be his captain. But he said about Luffy, if he couldn't at least do this much, we would have to find a new captain, right? So it just made me think that Zoro's, to me, I never understood that. Zoro always expressed or openly expressed that he recognized that Luffy was stronger than him. Because even fighting on the rooftop, he wanted to be right there fighting Kaido himself, right? And also, he's always coming at Luffy, yo, shape up. Stop letting your guard down, you know? So, and then also, too, because even you go back to the dynamic between Zoro and Sanji, right? Because, like, you know, Gaban and Rayleigh girl and Sanji, right? Zoro heavily shows that he's letting people know, no, I am stronger or more worth than Sanji. But I don't really get the idea that Sanji even thinks that he's stronger than Zoro either, though. Right? I kind of feel like he understands that Luffy, for Sanji's perspective, that he understands that Luffy and Zoro are stronger than him. Right? And I think that Zoro kind of understands that, like, he doesn't necessarily he believes that Luffy's weaker, but he knows how strong Luffy is at the very least. But he never showed that he believes that Luffy was stronger than him. So I thought that dynamic was interesting, where Gaban literally the reason I say this because Gaban is saying, even though he's saying that he's stronger than Ray, he's recognizing I am not stronger than Roger by saying I am second strongest, you know? Mm-hmm. Point blank, right? So that's why I bring that up. But the dynamic here seems a little different for me for the Monster Trio. Because also, too, and the reason I say the whole Sanji thing, Sanji also mentions, if this changes me back in Wano, through whatever's happening with him, he asked Zoro to take him out, right? You could even link that. That's right there as proof, maybe not, that he's recognized that Zoro is stronger than him, because if it's changing me where I'm going to become this thing that attacks women, is bloodthirsty, like his family, his ruthless, the one that I want to take me out is Zoro, recognizing that he'll be the one to do so, right? So that dynamic where it's a little different for how I see it, where Gaban is recognized, no, I am under Roger, as in strength-wise, but I'm above Ray, right? But I don't think for Luffy and Zoro, for Sanji and Zoro, it's the same. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was very interesting, but also cool, right? And And then to me, I believe we all called this, but I think it's stated right here that I believe this hockey blast, because he said many years ago when he showed Gabon falling down. Years ago, many minutes ago. This is the time where Emu was like, silence, right? And they'll shut up. That hockey blast that we're seeing here is what we're seeing now. So they did feel that hockey blast, and like I think we all called, but I know I said it too, that they're gonna feel it and they're going to travel up like, yo, what's going on up there? Because obviously they have no idea, right? And I love their response. I wish I remembered the other response that Luffy said, because this was I get the idea, Chopper, but I also liked how he said it in the other translation. I'll probably try to find it later on, but because I know some of them don't always have it. But I like to hear how they shaped up, because even how Druden shaped up, right? And then we see that Sanji and Zoro both sensed it. They're like, huh, like what's that? But their reaction, the Giants, like, yeah, like, it was like, oh my gosh. But also Gabon's reaction, me and Lionel both understood when we read this, the way he responded sounded familiar to him, right? Like, no, this hockey, right? Not like, this type of hockey, like they're all feeling. He said, no, this hockey, like, this person's here. So the Roger Pirates which they they became king of the pirates, but it gave no evidence of them actually knowing who Emu is, right? But that statement there by Gabon made us believe that he actually has met Emu to feel his hockey. So he knows where this hockey's coming from. That makes it more interesting to me as well, right? And also Loki speaks to me. I wonder, because Loki obviously felt that, but he got excited from like, you guys have to let me free now. Certainly he wants to fight, but also too, does this also link up to like, Loki being a conqueror, right? I mean, they're all responding like we got to go up there, but I wonder like the way Loki getting this excitement, and then we're actually seeing Loki freed actually do something would be dope, But yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
All right, Seb.
I thought this was all really, really dope. I thought the Gabon part was super funny. I laughed so hard at that with him second strongest. I'm really curious to who Mos is. Like, I've been trying to rack my brain from that super chat earlier from Melon T about Shirahoshi. I don't know how it could be Shirahoshi. I need to see that video. But I don't have any good ideas. Like, my idea goes to Yarul, but like I don't think that's a dope enough like plot reveal. And now it's getting more gas, like more is happening here to who it is, and just like to add more mystery to the story. Because of the name, like the name changes too, so I can't even go with the Mosa Shaggy thing. Like, which is it? Which is the official? Which is the actual name or their actual name? I will say in regards to the Shirahoshi thing, wouldn't Luffy have recognized the voice? Like, is Luffy not close enough to Loki right now? I just don't. I gotta see the thought train on that. I did think it was really funny for Gerd to be like, "I'm happy you're able to find a friend." I thought that was funny because she like hates him, but she's still like, "I'm glad you're able to find somebody you know what I mean, that you can call a friend even in the underworld."
No, she low-key messes with him.
Yeah, I mean,
she's had so since she's been introduced.
Does she? Mm-hmm. I thought she hated him. Am I tripping? I have to reread the chapters. I don't know. But I like that he has this concern for whatever's going on with them, which means I don't know if what's happening up there is impacting this person too. Very possibly. Seemingly, the attacks are happening or whatever. And if it is Yarul, then that would make more sense. But I kind of hope it's not, just to have a new character. Like some new character that we can get some backstory, some dope lore from. So I'm excited for that. You know me, I'm always going to have my little cope mechanism and say something in regards to Shiki. So that would be nice. The Wings of the Power King thing, to get back into that, I agreed with some of what you were saying, Lawrence. I personally think Zoro would acknowledge that Luffy's stronger than him, but it's never been outright stated in the manga or anime that he said that, so it's very, possible. I can't see Zoro saying I'm the number 2, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, yeah.
Like, even if he acknowledges that Luffy's stronger than him, I don't see him going, I was the second strongest, chill out. I don't see that. But I did think it was funny. Like, Luffy's reaction, Gabon forcing himself to say that, them realizing, like, this dude's this thing, like, this huge deal, like, this is crazy. And in general, like, I think back to Gabon telling them, oh, man, if Elbaf is still around by the time you guys finish here, come visit me. And it's like, bro, you dead. like, you told us that next time we see you, you're packed up. My doctor's saving your life from falling off. You know what I mean? From the realms and stuff. So I thought that was funny. Chopper freaking out to try to explain what was happening was also really funny to me. Just like, hey guys, it's really bad up there. There's hostages, the kids are taken, there's nightmares, there's demons, and nobody can beat them, and they're immortal, and all this stuff. And Luffy's like, all right, man. I get it. I'm on the way. I do like this, and people were complaining about Haruden being in this last panel here. I actually like it, because anytime you can show Luffy integrating into the, like, mainstays of the arc is a good thing. This is Luffy sandwiched in between the two princes and the two different versions of Elbaf monsters. Like, Haruden represents this newer Elbaf that we see is kind of weaker, etc. Loki represents the old version of Elbaf, the super strong demon form, whatever. Like, I like Luffy's being sandwiched between the two of them. They are the princes of Elbaf. They are technically the two paths that the kingdom can go down, whatever. Luffy sweating, though. I was a little surprised at that. I didn't think Luffy would be sweating, but he is.
That's the meat sweats.
Nah, he's sweating.
He sweat about Kizaru when he showed up on ACAD.
True. I don't know. It shocked me a little bit to see him sweating. And granted, Luffy has crewmates up there. Based off everything Chopper said, they could be in real danger. So I get it, but I wasn't expecting that. Like, Loki not sweating. Granted, this is his opportunity, and I like that we're getting it to this because it's not some contrived. Oh, again, we freed Loki, and then bad things happen. It's like, yo, we kind of need him. It's kind of crazy up there. We can't really handle it with just us, right? So,
but honestly, if they all go up there, do they need Loki?
Yes, bro.
I don't think so.
You have Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji.
Listen, I just saw Gabon get packed, bro. Granted,
that's because the kids. His legit child was about to pass.
There's a lot going on up there. There's seemingly Sommer's back. There's multiple Holy Knights. Emu possessing Gunko, etc. The demons, like, there's a lot going on.
If, like Larry said, if the ones that are like immobilized straw hats get flipped, then
GG's.
Then maybe Loki. But granted, I don't feel like he's gonna care about your crew though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see him. You know,
I don't know. But I did have the same thought process as y'all, that Gabon's reaction seemed like it was familiar. So I was wondering if the Roger Pirates ever had a run-in with Emu. Probably the Holy Knights, because Gabon seemed to know Sommers, or they knew who he was immediately. They recognized each other immediately, and I'm pretty sure Gabon even said long time no see. So that tells me that they've had at least run-ins with the Holy Knights. As far as Emu's hockey and Emu, like, I don't know. There's this running thought process that Roger ducked smoke and never went after Emu after he learned the truth, but it's very possible that that's not the case.
It's definitely not the case. But
I'm not saying that I never subscribed to the duck smoke part, but I never thought that he went up to the Holy Land and did his thing. Granted, I have my little mini theory about what happened at God's Valley, which could definitely have been a time where Roger ran into an emu-like figure or emu-possessed figure, but that's a theory for another day, I guess. But yeah, I thought that tidbit was interesting. Like, the hockey being familiar to Gabon. So, I'm excited. Free Loki. Hurry it up. Like, I'm all this like, oh man, I'm trying to get freed. Like, shut up, bro. Like, let's get to that. Let's get to the, you know, and Loki Chopper, give him that drug you gave Zoro, man. I'm trying to see non-hindered Loki. I'm trying to see Loki completely healthy up there scrapping. All right, food eaten, pills took, pop the perks. Let's go. Let's do it. That's it for me.
All right. This may be wrong, but I want to propose a theory. What if Shaggy is actually a celestial dragon living in Marijoa? The reason he can't speak freely anymore and why we hear someone screaming in pain and why it's in the background is because Marijoa is currently engulfed in chaos and flames, as Emu described it, a sea of fire. We also know from the Holy Knights that Shamrock was urgently needed back in Marijoa to deal with the situation. That further supports the idea that something serious is unfolding there. If Shaggy is indeed a celestial dragon, that would be a huge twist. At first, we might assume his friendship began with Loki, but it might be even more compelling if this relationship started with King Harold. Perhaps Shaggy revealed the truth about the world government to Harold, showing him what it really stood for. That insight could have been what sparked Harold's change of heart and led him down the path of diplomacy, ultimately contributing to his failure in fully aligning with the world government. If this is the case, Shaggy's role in the story could be much deeper than we thought. Or this person could just be Arnott the Explorer.
I saw that too, which could be cool. Maybe. I saw another crazy theory, and I was trying to make sense of it too. That Shaggy's just Harold. And I was like...
No. We're not doing another...
I wouldn't like it back to back.
Sakazuki, whatever his name was,
I wouldn't like it.
All right.
But
I'm not gonna lie. I like Gabon more than Rayleigh.
you said that already.
Oh, yeah, I gotta say it again. The man's got conqueror's hockey. Low diffs a holy knight. Takes care of his kid. And his friends' kids. Stays loyal to his girl. And guess what? His girl is loyal back. She ain't showing panties like Shaggy.
Okay.
All right? Plus, he's protecting the island with the most narrative weight in the entire story. I mean, if it ain't Gabon over Rayleigh, I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what y'all doing. It's easy for me to understand, isn't it, Lawrence? It's a little bit easy. It's easy for me. We do not approve of bum behavior. Let's get that straight. If you got flip-flops on, you're a little cool, but if you ain't taking care of anybody else besides yourself, you're a bum. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
You literally no new information at all. From what? Like what?
Nothing. Nothing. I feel like the word preposterous and hockey has been mentioned before in some degree. Couldn't find it. The closest I got was Jinbei saying Shanks' hockey was monstrous. Jinbei once again saying St. Saturn had an unearthly presence. And then we had Dory saying that Joy Boy's hockey is stronger than Shanks's, maybe, but it didn't have like evil intent or a hostility towards it. I mean, listen, man, emo hockey gonna do what emo hockey gonna do. All right? It gonna do what it do. Shaggy, Mosa, whatever you want to call him, shout out to him, yo. Don't care. Really don't.
Could be interesting. No. I mean, I got faith in Oda to make it interesting.
But I like to think of Gabon right now. He's had more impressive showing than me than Rayleigh ever has, in my opinion.
I think that's a little recency bias, but I feel you.
Nah,
it's not.
It's a
little recency bias,
I've seen him.
Larry, hold on. You the same dude. So how I say this? How do I contextualize all this?
Don't bring Blackbeard into it.
I'm not bringing Blackbeard into this. I wasn't gonna bring Blackbeard into this.
Bro.
I was gonna bring in Kizaru.
Mm-hmm.
You acknowledge that Kizaru is probably stronger than the majority of the Holy Knights that we see here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rayleigh, old age, was able to hold Kizaru off to protect these extremely young, weak folks out here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Packing up a Holy Knight when you catch him by surprise, like, is that more impressive?
Wasn't Holy Knight by surprise. He cut him once by surprise, and guess what? After that, he completely decimated him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't it wasn't even competition. It's low diff because he had to use hockey to that degree, but that's because of his super regen. Other than that, he ain't land a hit.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying if you acknowledge the comp is lesser.
I acknowledge the comp is lesser, but it's not lesser if the dude is never ending dying wise.
But I'm saying if I'm a Conqueror's hockey user to the degree that Rayleigh and Gabon seemingly are.
If he mid-diffed Sommers, I'd be like, all right. He low-diffed him, bro. Almost no diff.
But the way you're speaking is though Rayleigh wouldn't be able to do the same.
Rayleigh,
and I don't see that.
Rayleigh was huffing. And
he fighting Admiral.
Rayleigh was huffing and puffing and about to blow Shaggy's house down when I got home. He literally was sweating and said, yo, because he's rusty, yada, yada, yada. Like, Gabon ran up branch 8. Mm-hmm. He was hustling from where?
Hold on. Again,
like
Kizaru is the speed of light over here, and I have to get there before he packs up these... You know what I'm saying?
That island is significantly smaller than Elbaf.
But I'm still blitzing the speed of light. We're not just shrugging to that, bro.
He moving the speed of light at all times.
You're faster than some thorns. I'm faster than the speed of light. There's a difference here.
Is he moving at the speed of light at all times, or is it only when he uses his devil fruit?
But he was using his devil fruit and Rayleigh stopped him. That's my point.
Yeah, he stopped him once. That was the only time he's ever used his devil fruit in order to move at that speed.
Bro, I'm just saying, if we're saying Kizaru is clearly, in your opinion, stronger than these Holy Knights.
Okay, so...
and that he was very clearly utilizing his devil fruit, and Rayleigh was able to close the gap and do this, and then stall him.
Yabon took on Luffy Gear 5 and Zoro.
Bro, one, he didn't take on Luffy Gear 5. Luffy turned Gear 5, he went, yo, we good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't fight Luffy Gear 5.
I saw Luffy in base form fight Kizaru.
Oh, and then what happened to him? He was getting packed.
He didn't get packed.
He immediately went to Snake Man and was struggling in Snake Man.
That's cool. But Yabon also beat a Holy Knight low diff.
Listen.
If he struggled against a Holy Knight, I'd be like,
Rayleigh made a Yonko walk away.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah, but Blackbeard ain't good like that.
And Sommers ain't good like that.
Yeah,
we can do this all day, bro.
Blackbeard would lose to a Holy Knight.
No, he wouldn't. Blackbeard not losing to Sommers. Especially if we think this stuff is devil fruits. Hell no. Hell no. You're tripping. You're tripping. You're letting your Blackbeard hate cloud your other agendas.
Okay.
If you think that what Sommers is doing with the regen is devil fruit related, there's no chance Sommers beats Blackbeard.
Okay. Is the devil fruit within Sommers or is it within Evil?
It don't matter. If I make contact with you, what happens?
Okay.
All right, bro.
Don't know that.
Sommers over Blackbeard now. Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Unless Blackbeard does something significant, he's not going to defeat Sommers or any of the Holy Knights because of their super regen.
Absolutely disrespectful.
You need to have Conqueror's Haki in order to beat them.
All right. You know what you said earlier about not letting things trigger you? You right, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You right.
All right.
You got it.
Got you, bro.
All right. Gabon winning the poll, though. So
he should.
He's dope. I probably like Gabon more than Rayleigh. I just don't like the Rayleigh disrespect.
Rayleigh looks like a bum.
I just think it's crazy, though. Before there, you was coming at me because I said Ray over Kizaru. But now you downplaying Kizaru.
I'm not downplaying Kizaru. I'm still saying Kizaru is where he's at. I'm just saying Gabon is at that point where, like, he ain't struggling as hard as Rayleigh was. For sure.
To me, so that kind of sounds like you're saying that Gabon is that much stronger than Ray.
I would say he's stronger than Ray right now, for sure.
He might even be stronger than Ray right now. But what I'm saying is, I don't appreciate the Ray disrespect. Like he out here doing his thing.
Is he?
All right, man. I'm off it. I said I was off it. I'm off it. We got super chats and calls to get to.
Mm-hmm.
What? Calling Ray a bum is crazy. I can't. That hurt my heart, bro. But all right. We got 5 from Ron Anime. It says, my theory is Blackbeard's fruit, Moria's fruit, and Emu's fruit are all connected in some way. And Blackbeard's plan is to get all 3 in one place, and it's OP. ##.
You said Blackbeard's, Emus, and Luffy's?
Moria's. So shadows, darkness, and whatever Emu got going on. Maybe. I mean, they I don't want to say they're similar, but they all have some dark themes to them. Another 10 from Kodo 1998. Do you guys think Loki was power scaling with that last comment in the chapter? What other haki could he have felt before that was stronger? Shanks, # Shark Tank business partner law. Could definitely be comparing it to Shanks' haki, but I don't know that it was comparative when he did it. It might have just been like, yo, this haki kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel crazy haki, you might comment on it. You know?
Whose haki was he saying comparing to Shanks?
The Emu's haki.
Well, we didn't. I mean, it's no one. They made that comparison. The only one's Joy Boys. Just let Larry bring out the whole preposterous thing. I'm actually trying to look for it, but I don't know. Well, we talked about before. For example, Joy Boys haki showed it was more devastating, and then Shanks, not saying that it was less devastating, but for what we seen Emu's haki didn't do what Joy Boys or Shanks did. Shanks was shutting down an Admiral's ability, and Jobe was like, knocking out Vice Admirals and shutting off, the Gorosei and sending them back. Emu, not trying to downplay it because how it's gonna word. He knocked out kids and giants.
What are you talking about?
Emus. That's all he did. He knocked out kids and giants. Mm-hmm. So, but I do believe it's far-reaching because, again, how big Elbaf is, and look how far it reached, and they felt it.
He ain't knock out Usopp, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to.
That is, to me,
put it out there.
That's one of Oda's biggest, doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense.
It doesn't. I'm going to be real with you. It doesn't make sense.
Usopp good. But
it doesn't make sense.
We got another 2 Canadian from Smooth Weeb. Will Shamrock get scolded for making it a game? I want to say no. It's all still in effort to subdue Elbaf. It still works towards that goal.
I think Emu playing along with the game. Yeah. Because they mentioned the board to him. Because I think part of the game is literally the board. And I don't know whose ability it is, why there's a board in there in the first place. But they legit mentioned the Emu. It's kind of like Emu shows he knows all of their abilities. Because he even, he approached Killingham about, is this all your nightmares can do? Right? So he knows kind of about their game plan and what they were trying to do. And now he's just kind of moving it along faster because he got impatient. So I don't think that's what they normal thing of what they do.
We got another 5 from Ian Butler. It says, Othello is also called reversi. It might be more significant than it appears. Also, Dami reversi in Latin means returning home.
Good info.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Oda likes to play with board games and cards and any kind of game. He'll incorporate those motifs into the story, weaves in some way. Another 5 from Stronger Tiger 218. First time catching a live in a while. Wanted to say thanks. Also, who wins Law no Del Fruit or Zoro no swords?
Zoro does kind of have a no swordless style.
I'm going Zoro. I don't think Law with no Del Fruit has the pop to KO Zoro. Or even
Zoro.
Yeah, I gotta go Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro.
It's got a stronger will.
Stronger hockey.
Another 5 from Diamond Life. What Killingham makes a nightmare from Luffy? What if Killingham makes a nightmare from Luffy and it's a combo of Ace and Akainu and that's how Surtur shows up? Also, glad the brim is bended, Law. With a laughing emoji. That'd be a wild way to get Surtur in here. I don't know if we're getting all that. That's
they'd have to put Luffy to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I don't think Luffy would have a nightmare, in all honesty.
We got another 10 from Nerdtaku, our boy. It says, Killingham looks like a fishman. His eyes, teeth, and gills look like hoodie, and he wears a bubble to breathe. What if he was a betrayer of the Fishman Revolution 200 years ago to become a Holy Knight? # Troll Seb. So Larry spoke on this a little bit earlier. Taku, I like the betrayer piece a little bit. I kind of like Larry's 800 years ago theory a little bit more. But feel free to elaborate and send me anything you have that does elaborate on your thought processes on the 200 years ago, because I'm interested in that. Another 7 months at Nakama status from Teabag. It says, will Loki get the same pill that Zoro got in Wano? I was just saying this, man. Give him whatever to get to his best stuff. Another 28 months at Nakama status from our guy Nerdtaku. You going to Anime Expo? # Law D Horse Puncher. # Lairbear. We're still deciding.
Yeah, still deciding.
Another 5 Canadian from Smooth Weeb. In chapter 1125, Saturn instructs the scientists not to scrap the Emeth, hiding it from Emu. But he also told Vegapunk there's no need to advance technology. Why do you think? Curious minds is gonna be curious, bro. You can tell one thing to Vegapunk because you're fearful of what Vegapunk's curiosity will lead that technology view to. But you yourself could still want to have some, what's going on here. So it's really, I have to tell Vegapunk not to do this, but I'm gonna do it myself. Kind of a thing. Do as I say, not as I do, I think is the term or the quote. Another 99 something from Jade Turla. It says Whitebeard Pirates and Blackbeard Pirates versus Straw Hats and Cross Guild. I'm going Whitebeard Pirates and Blackbeard Pirates. Oh, it's Whitebeard and Blackbeard Pirates? I don't know if it's Whitebeard Pirates and Blackbeard Pirates or it's just Whitebeard. Either way, I'm going Whitebeard and Blackbeard Pirates. But that's me.
Versus the Straw Hats and Cross Guild?
Yeah. Cross Guild only got really Mihawk is a heavy hitter, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's true.
So, I like Crocodile, but we'll see where he at with it right now. So,
Yeah.
Number 2 from Xavier O'Daly. What if Nika and Nika Bonnie flip everyone back? Yeah, we kind of talked this a little bit earlier. It's very possible. We had another 1 month at Nakama status from Uwu. It says King Harold turned, so Loki had to kill him. It's very possible. And I was going to say this earlier about Loki not wanting to talk about it. Who wants to talk about how they killed their dad if they really was rocking with their dad? You know what I'm saying?
But he kind of said, "Do you really believe I did?"
No, they're saying it. He said in cold blood.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You're
if
right,
he
you're
was
right.
turned and I had to do
Cold
something, that's not cold blood. That's me having to take my
That's
dad
true.
out.
That's true.
Another 5 from TJ. It says, the dragon is meant to be welcoming and kind of in mythology, so I like how his design juxtaposes that. Hashtag where Lionel at, hashtag cat over king, hashtag Saint Larry, hashtag law equals Morpheus. Lionel not feeling well.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Another 5 from Jay Darude. It says, if he's not part fisherman, at least Oda don't know what he talking about. He needs to read the One Piece manga. Hashtag what else they got to do. Oh, man. I mean, it's Oda's story, bro. You can write whatever you want, really. Another Nakama joined the ship, Enrico. Welcome. Enjoy the emojis that come with being a Nakama. Another 2 from Smooth Weeb. OG Fishman royalty didn't know about Poseidon. Yeah, the Neptune dude was a little... King Neptune was a little iffy on the specifics of Poseidon, right?
He just said that there was royal information about Poseidon, and he knew the information about the poneglyphs.
Mm-hmm.
But that could easily also be explained through like Odin telling him what was on the poneglyphs.
Yeah.
Like low key.
yeah.
Like low key, bro. Like, oh, that's what it says? I knew that.
Yeah, they told me that.
Yeah, you know what? The red one ain't really that important. You can take it if you want.
Y'all need that?
Yo, go ahead.
We don't need it.
Yo, Sunbell, yo. You with the gang, right?
That's you?
All right, yo.
All right, we got another 10 from the Thinker. It's a smash, marry, kill, Vivi, Robin, Nami. Smashing Nami, marrying Robin, killing Vivi. That's the easiest decision for me. Not even a conversation. Easy word.
I'd murk Vivi, smash Nobby, marry Robin.
We locked in, bro. We
Yeah,
locked
bro.
in. Law, can you...
You know I'm not gonna answer that.
All right. The other 5 from The World, though, it says, still convinced the Lionel is a figment of my imagination. It
The
says
Lionel?
the Lionel. Not even that, like the Lionel. The Lionel is crazy. Another 2 from Jenny Rude. Chopper ate the fruit because he saw Law coming. Gotta be more human. Another 8 months at Yonko status from Johnny Water. It says, what's up? Happy Monday, guys. I got a question. While using all levels of hockey, what gear would Luffy need to fight Zoro and Yamato? Gear 5.
100% Gear 5.
Base.
You're tripping, bro.
Just use Conqueror's hockey.
Tripping.
All the hockeys he has, and he'll be alright. If he needs to turn up, he will.
You are. Another 2 from Yami no Ho. Who would win out of Dofi versus Katakuri? Katakuri. Although I think it's closer than people think. But Katakuri, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. Another 3 months at Nakama status from Jeremy Hagler. I think Emu brings out the inherent evil in people. It's possible. I mean, Vegapunk went up to meet the Gorosei, and he was happy about it. So they connected to Emu.
He's like, what is this? This feels incredible.
I want to be a part of this.
I'm trying to party.
I'm trying to be here.
Where's Diddy at?
He said, I read all that history. They might have been wrong. They might have been right.
Another 2 from Larry's
Where the
Couch.
harem at? I got a couple girls I need to go check out.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Another 2 from Larry's Conscious. Dorian Broggy's girlfriends aren't complaining. Because they got bigger. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Another 5 from Glossy.
I like bad boys.
What's good, y'all? If you could get any movie or TV show adapted into anime, what would you choose? I'm going with Kill Bill. Hashtag law for UFC.
Adapted into any anime show? Any movie or TV show adapted into one?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Lost, the TV show.
Anime
I feel
Lost.
like an anime Lost TV show will go mad hard, and a lot of liberties would be taken in great ways, but it'd make an amazing drama of like a slice of life. but also like adventure, like curiosity. It would remind me of the Never Promised Land or the Promised Neverland anime, which I also loved.
I was trying to think of something with more supernatural powers and stuff that you could really use the anime elements of. But I can't really think of one that's good. So, yeah.
I gotta think more of that. That was a good question.
Yeah, another 10.
Shaolin Soccer. That's an anime.
Pretty good.
And
There is already a soccer. I mean, it's not Shaolin soccer.
and then you can see the Axe gang.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh, Kung Fu Hustle would be a good one, too.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another 10 from Link Tales. Hey guys, I would like.
Banraku.
Oh yeah, Bunraku would be dope. That would be dope.
Unbach.
Unbach,
Yeah. Oh, any Michael John White movie. Right? Any Michael John White movie.
Black Dynamite already has one, technically.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know?
Any Michael John White movie. Bones. Like, whatever you want to name, bro. Almost any.
Anyone. Yeah.
I'd probably like to see Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee in anime.
I feel like they don't use Michael J. White in a lot of stuff that they should. There's like one Batman movie where he's like with Batman's training, and because like one of the characters like literally who is Michael J. White is the Bronze Tiger in the DC universe.
I'd like to see Sinners in anime.
Sinners anime would be cool. Yo, Enter the Dragon is probably the best choice though, just because of the people
When
he has
he
to fight.
looking, when he looking in the screen, like.
Actually, what's the one where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? What movie is that?
It's
That's
the
not
Tower.
Game of Death.
It's Game of Death. Yeah, that one. I love that one.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
What movie? Oh my gosh. Dewey Cox, Walk Hard.
Oh, why?
In anime form?
Terrible.
Why?
So funny.
I don't think it would be funny.
Yeah, it would, bro.
I don't think it would be funny.
That-
It
yo,
works
it would,
because
bro.
it's like live action. Like that works. You gonna have an anime him ripping sinks out? Like it's just dumb. That's because
The wrong kid died.
They can't.
Low key, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder would be hilarious. Playing a dude disguised as another dude. You got the two priests,
Nah, bro.
and he do a cover story, and it's like Devil's Alley, and it's just about them being super gay.
I watched Watchmen.
Booty sweat.
I watched Watchmen recently, and it's got my mind thinking Watchmen.
Watchmen would be a really good one.
because they've done the live action stuff. They got
I'm
the
not
comic.
in jail with you. You're in jail with me.
Oh yeah.
So,
The Gray Man. I think will be a good one.
D. Gray Man.
No, The Gray Man. The movie, The Gray Man. He's in The Gray.
It's a Netflix movie, right?
Yeah. What's his name? Chris Evans in it. So is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
They're like CIA agents.
Low key American Pie.
All right, we moving on.
American Pie, bro.
I gotta see.
Yo,
we
would
gotta
that
get the
not be a
calls,
good
bro.
anime?
We gotta get the
That'd be
calls.
hilarious to have American Pie.
They
as
got
an
a whole
anime.
subplot.
Yeah,
This
it's like a
dude
slice of life thing, bro.
smashing Stifler's mom. Like,
Yeah,
it's
Bruh.
that'd be so funny.
crazy. Another 10 from Link Tales. Bruh.
One more. Yo, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys are going.
That'd be
Bad
great.
Boys anime would go mad hard,
I can't
bro.
lie. I mean,
I'm like Larry. I'm like Larry.
Bad Boys animated would be pretty fire. I ain't gonna lie.
That would be hard as hell.
I didn't watch any of the new ones.
The newest one was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch any of them.
That's pretty good.
After the third, I don't think I watched anything after the third one.
First one and the second one for sure.
Someone
In
keeps,
fact, no, I think this is the second one.
someone keeps
I haven't seen
texting, like in the chat, keeps saying, that's right, you didn't say it. For the show / movie, Game of Thrones.
I thought of it, but like, we need a better ending. So,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but those be cool.
Low key, it has to be Fast and Furious, right? Like, they're already stepping into the anime genre, bro. They shot a car into space off of scraps.
They don't even do that in anime.
Tony Stark.
they don't even do that in anime, bro. You can't name that. What outside of what the hell's that one anime, Dandy or whatever, Space Dandy? That's the only anime I think I've ever seen somebody in a car in space like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. All right, another 10 from Link Tales. Hey guys, I would like you guys to readdress the different types of hockey. I think you guys say Conqueror's coding when it's just Rio, like Zoro in Wano.
You should have been here like 3 episodes ago. I broke it down clearly, bro. I'm not trying to do it, bro.
You do it, bro.
I'm good, yo.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
It's too much, bro. All right, he's saying all 3?
Yeah, he said the 3 types.
So he wants us to break us.
It's basic armament, armament hard, black hardening. I'm not going through this, bro. I've done it so many times.
Yeah,
Thank you.
check last
Thank
episode.
you. I
2 weeks
appreciate
ago.
you, bro. Go check 3 episodes ago. 3 episodes
sorry,
ago, bro.
man.
I love you, bro. I'm sorry.
Another 5 from Jeans. Do you think Luffy could have a gear 6? Sure. Against Emu, he better have a sun gear to bring the dawn on Emu's darkness. I could definitely see a gear 6, although Luffy did say this was his peak.
Yeah, I'd like gear 5 only from now on.
We'll see. Another 30-something from Monkey D. Hershko. Hey, everyone. How was your day? It's good. Hope it's good. It is good. I've been here for like a year and a half and wanted to know what is your 5 best and 5 favorite anime, not including the big 3, and your 5 favorite characters. That's a lot of 5s.
See,
Wow.
Herschel, whatever your name is. Appreciate you, but dog, that's crazy.
Give one, man.
question, bro. I'm
give
gonna
a
give
couple.
one from each, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know what all he said.
5 favorite anime, not including the big 3, and your 5 favorite characters. I'm guessing we're going outside of the big 3 for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My one favorite anime right now, I watched The Blood of Zeus recently. I really like that. Season 3. That was fire to me.
Okay.
And then it says, what else? Your 5 favorite characters?
Yeah.
My recent favorite character has to be
Jinwoo.
Yeah.
Okay. Death Note, for me, it's like a top 5 anime. Probably always will be. Beyond that, Yu Yu Hakusho is another one I've always loved. And for character outside of the big 3, I got a lot of deep cuts, man, with my manga. They're not animes. I'm thinking of manga-specific characters, but I'm thinking like Hana and Sakota, like from Worst, Satan from Crows, etc. So it's just hard for me to pick anime characters. So I'll go with Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. He was a favorite of mine when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you mentioned Yu Yu Hakusho. That's one for me. One Punch Man is definitely up there. That's my show. For, I guess, favorite characters, I'm gonna mention one too that we mentioned. Hydra no Ippo is another one. Mad that they stopped the anime. They just kept going with the anime. Well, I've always liked Takamura. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Takamura.
Take a look at my meat.
Come on.
What? He never said.
Yeah, let me just answer Link Tales because it was his first super chat. All right, so
Is it?
yeah, Conqueror's hockey, right? There's a base form, and usually that form is just emitting it, right? Like you just emit it, it's there. When Dan Chinjiao and Luffy punched, they weren't really using Conqueror's hockey, but just because they had Conqueror's hockey, it was on. That's like the basic stage. Then the first stage is willingly use it to knock people out, right? Then you got the second stage where you're able to somehow imbue it into your attacks, and it's called like leakage, right? That's a different one. And then you have the fourth one, which is advanced Conqueror's coding, which is basically a form of Rio, which is armament hockey mixed in with Conqueror's hockey. And when you go to punch somebody, you're not necessarily touching at all. So that are just the stages of that of Conqueror's hockey. There's other forms within it. So like, for example, Zoro has a mixed version of armament hockey and Conqueror's hockey, which is not advanced Conqueror's hockey. It's not advanced coding either. It's just regular coding mixed in with armament. That's just a level that Luffy just kind of skipped, but he can also do. And then you have armament hockey, which is the base hockey. You could use that without it being blackened, and then there's hardening haki after that, and then there's a second level where Katakuri used it against Luffy in their fight, where he said there's a stronger haki than the one he's using now, armament-wise. And then after that, you get into the advanced versions of armament haki, which is outward emission and inward emission, right? So inward emission is just Rio. It's a special name specifically for that specific type of armament haki. And then outward emission is basically what the admirals used against Whitebeard at Marineford when they blocked his Gura attack, and also what Sentomaru was using against Luffy and crew on Sabaody Archipelago. So that's the differences between those hakis, and then you can mix them in and they just make a different bunch of combinations depending on which levels they are at. Is that enough?
I think you did that very well, man.
All right, thank you. I tried my best.
Huh?
All right.
We got another 2 from Jada Rude. It says, Usopp fought a Yonko he couldn't beat. Hashtag willpower. What?
Wait, what did you say again?
Usopp fought a Yanko he couldn't beat. Hashtag willpower.
When?
Yeah, I don't follow here.
He fought.
Yeah, I'm not
Yonko
following.
he couldn't beat.
When did Usopp go after Kaido or Big Mom? Or Shanks? Or like I don't remember Usopp ever going after.
I guess we're with Nami. That then, or was it? Because Usopp wasn't on Whole Cake, was he? No, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't on Whole Cake.
Did he attack
wasn't
Big
on Whole
Mom
Cake.
on Wano?
Oh, Jada Rude is saying Luffy. Usopp fought a Yonko he couldn't beat. He's talking about Usopp fought Luffy.
Bro, that don't count. That
Luffy
don't
was
count
not a
at
Yonko.
all. But I get what you're saying, but that don't count. That don't count. Another 5 from SSJ. Could Shanks or Dragon be the mystery person Loki
No.
is talking to? Let me know your thoughts.
Nah.
Nah, that would be dumb. Let me be real with you. No offense, but another 10.
Shanks already came to talk to him. If he had a Dendamushi, he would have spoke to him. And we know Dragon ain't doing it.
Another 10 from Fatboy FPS. You know that lie Usopp told at Kokoyashi at the start that they call in him a demon king. What if Imu turns Usopp into a demon and he leads the giants into this battle?
He's all filled
Pause.
with this doubt and negativeness, you know what I'm saying? But it just amplifies him even more, and now he got conquers hockey through Imu. Yo, your dream is fulfilled, bro.
That's crazy. His dream becomes a nightmare that he always wanted.
I don't know if I like that one.
And then he conquers himself, thus proving he's a warrior.
I don't know how I
A
feel.
booty warrior.
We did get another warlord join the crew in Monkey D. Hershko. So thank you, Hershko. Another 12 months at Yonko status, our highest tier of membership from awareness. Been a whole year. Still can't tell the twins apart. This is Lawrence. Law is the one that stays using armament on innocent animals, right? Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. I do not do that. That's
Yeah. I still don't get why you told that story, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't
this
tell
is
any
your
story.
fault,
He said,
bro.
"Yeah, I punched a horse, yo."
Yeah,
Yo,
randomly.
First of all,
Randomly.
First
Why,
of all,
bro?
You're legit confusing. You guys are. That was Lionel that randomly said that I hit a horse. That I punched a horse. I didn't bring this up at all. Why little?
What's the difference?
Wow. I'm my own person. All right? I'm my own person. I didn't tell anyone that. And also, that horse bit me. Okay. And horse bites are real because he got my forearm. So
Did somebody tell you they were fictional? Like, wait, why?
No, I ain't. Who's expecting to get bit by a horse? Like, I'm thinking dogs do that and whatever. A horse is like,
It's an
just
animal,
chilling.
bro. It can bite.
But like, I was legit trying to get it ready for the show and it bit me.
They didn't tell you that the horses bite when they trained you.
No.
I feel like that's a lie.
I was more worried about getting kicked in the face by a horse. You know, because you gotta circle around the horse. So that's what they warned you about, not the horse biting you. It's like, yo, dodge them kicks.
You
know?
punched a slave, bro.
Okay, wow.
That horse
No, I
was
didn't.
in slavery,
You think that
bro.
that horse wants to be
It wants to be in the wild.
there?
I know they didn't want to be there. Their horses.
It wants to be running through the
those horses
field.
are lazy, bro.
You could have released them into the wild,
hear
bro.
him? You hear him?
Running through. What you say?
He said those horses are lazy. Yo.
They were lazy.
You saying slaves are lazy?
Stop it. I'm not their boss. All right.
So now you saying slaves are lazy and you're allowed to hit them because they
Yo,
bite?
that's what you are, bro.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna change the topic real quick. Horses dance, y'all. You play music for them, they'll dance.
Oh, so you making them dance? Yo, this is crazy.
Now we got minstrel show.
Yeah.
Now we got horse minstrel shows.
The
Crazy,
They
bro.
be dancing. They just be doing a 4-step. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got another 5 from ZZ Optimal. It says live action chopper on a barbecue grill or fried Jimbei fish sticks.
Jimbei gonna have some tough meat. It's choppers where it's at. You ever had lamb? Ain't no different. That's veal, baby.
Got a point. I've definitely had elk before. It was pretty good.
I had
Another 5 from God Left
Give
Me.
me one rib. Put it in my hand.
Yo, been listening to you guys for about 6 months. I messed with you guys heavy.
Oh, thank you.
Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag Law versus Hockey imbued windshield. Hashtag Law versus Animal Rights Laws.
It's crazy. I think I'm out here just telling that I be attacking horses. And this is the second time I've done that. Because the other time, too, I said it was Lionel. Then you guys were going to win. Why do you think I would say
Larry,
this?
do me a favor. Can you take over the super chat so I can set up the phone calls?
Yeah.
It's, we're here.
All right. Got you. You gonna let me take you shopping after?
Okay.
All right. Marcellus with the 5. Fishman, Killingham, raccooning for the CDs if this is true.
Raccooning is crazy.
What's raccooning?
Take the first part of that out and read the last.
Oh.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Shout out to my boy Killingham. Justin Montana's with the 2. Law, stop beating my dog. I can't pay the vet bill.
That's
Justin
crazy.
Montana's again with the 2 says Sanji only super simps because he's in the closet.
Oh, hey, yo.
Nah.
Hey yo.
Chill out.
Hey yo. Yami no Ho with the 5 says, do you guys think Momonosuke will awaken his devil fruit and be stronger than Kaido?
Nah.
No.
Blackbeard can do it. Momonosuke can. Momonosuke can 5. JD Como with the 20 says Dorian Brocky's devil form features, in addition to their huge size, growth, look very similar to Oars. Is Domi Reversi how the ancient giants were created? Keep up the good work. So happy I've been able to catch the lives. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't say so. I think it's just, that's how they were naturally born.
Yeah.
I don't think they were necessarily evil either.
Mm-hmm.
They were just big monsters. There's big monsters. You a monster.
I'm a warrior.
And then, blood just, through who you mate with, creates derivatives of that blood. All right, Dope of 09 with the 2 says, Usopp is key to reversing the kids' dreams. Oh, no. Techum2421 with the 5 says, just paying my hashtag law animal tax so law don't come for my dog. Joel Class with the 2 says, why did Blackbeard not take Marco's devil fruit?
I actually have thoughts on this. And I'll try to be quick. It makes perfect sense for him to have eaten the fruit for what he would gain from it. But narratively, if you needed Marco to help with Wano, can't have him get clipped that way. And what Blackbeard represents as far as destruction, Marco doesn't, his fruit is the opposite of that. So in 2 different ways, it just doesn't work. And then you can't use Marco for anything else. And apparently Oda has plans for him even beyond Wano. So, yeah.
ODB AMS with the 5 says, Law, do the spirit cuffs, in parentheses, sunglasses, come off when it's time to fight an animal. he has his own poo that he's just constantly roughing up.
That's funny.
That's
Funny, bro.
That's horrible.
We're getting out of here, poo! Ah! And then you just see Lawrence just tagging poo nonstop, just beating poo up. All right. Jada Rude with the 2 says, Larry hates slaves, Law hates fishmen, hashtag both CDs.
Where did this come from?
It's actually Sebastian who hates fishmen.
Yeah, I never
All
said
right.
that.
All right.
I was all for Jinbei joining the crew.
I
Sebastian
support slaves,
wasn't. Oh, wow.
but not
Full
slavery.
stop.
not slavery.
I don't even understand how that is. How can
Listen, bro.
how
What?
explain how that's possible?
Yeah, listen, bro. I support them in their ways of working. I realize they're hard workers, and I realize it's either it could be slavery or death. Which one do you rather choose? I'd probably choose slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What the heck?
Whatever Larry on, I don't know. But
that's what the Celestial Dragons are doing to them.
We did get a couple winners for the
I'm just fighting
call.
out of slavery. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to fight back.
Anyway.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
What was it? Negro Freeman?
Negro Freeman.
Was it?
It was Catcher
Catcher Freeman. Yeah. All right, I'm cooked. All right, I'm not talking no more.
Larry says Wakanda with a hard eye. Hard R, bro. Wakanda forever.
Josie Dits with the 5 says, could Diable, Ifrit, Jambe have real elements? Larry made some good points in the first ever early chapter stream about the eternal hockey damage.
It could.
Yeah, it definitely could.
He even said that he was using hockey when he was like, whatever. All right, we gotta get the calls, man. So first caller.
I swear I thought his name was Negro Freeman.
Negro Freeman
For a
crazy,
second,
bro.
My bad. Racist rant didn't happen, but it's over. Yeah.
All right, first caller is gonna be Sindbad Lupicaro. Lupicaro? I don't know. Sindbad. Talk to us.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
We good, man.
What's up, man?
Larry tripping a little bit, but we trying to move past it.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's always Larry that's stupid. But it's all good. At least he got some good takes to offset the tripping.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Thank you.
And where are you from? You sound like you're from somewhere not here.
That's racist.
Yeah.
How is that racist?
Nah, that's a little racist,
How is
bro.
that racist?
Yo, he could have been a well-distinguished gentleman.
He about to say a country that's not from here, so go ahead.
But I'm from North Africa.
Ah, there we go. Okay, yeah.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to North Africa.
So I wanted to thank you guys for the for the show. I've been following for 2 years now.
Hey.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And I have a theory and a question.
Okay.
So let's start with my theory. Since the last chapters that we've seen, we've both seen that Gaban is pretty strong, and that Rayleigh is also pretty strong. I mean, in terms of strength, they can both take like Yonko levels opponents. They might not necessarily win, but they can fight with them. Are we correct on that?
I would agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been thinking, if and since they've both been in Roger's crew, and Roger's crew follows close to Luffy's crew, and Luffy's crew is all about freedom and liberating the weak and the defenseless and all of that. And I've been thinking, if I was in Gaban's situation or Rayleigh's situation, and I know the true history of the world, that there's gonna be a liberator that's gonna come and save us all, I won't be sitting in my home with my arms squared, drinking and banging my wife and not doing nothing. You hear what I'm saying? I'd be going island to island, taking the fight to the world government until like the reincarnation of Nika arrives.
Okay.
Are you married?
So I've been thinking, nah, I'm not married. But I'm putting myself in Gaban's shoes.
Hey, man. Hey, we're gone. I'm just saying.
Even with the wife as hot of Ripley, I'm not gonna let the if I see what Kaido was doing to Wano, I won't be like, damn, bro, y'all got to drop out there and stay chilling.
Okay.
So my theory is whatever they saw on Laugh Tale, whatever Luffy's supposed to do that's gonna fulfill the prophecy and everything is so important that even if they try anything before he arrives, it's not gonna matter. So I think they're conserving their strength until that decisive moment where they're gonna act all out.
Could be. I mean, it could be, yeah.
I could see them pitching help during the final war, like
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I could see. We only got Ray and Gaban. We don't know where the rest of the remnant of the Roger pirates are, But I could see them, either could be buying time or they're just living their life knowing that there is going to be, because part of the laugh tale and the story, it also talks about a prophecy, right? And that's how they recognize we were too early. So that's probably why they didn't do anything. It's like, all right, even if we wanted to, nothing's going to happen because going with the storyline, we're too early. So we have to wait until the right time to act, right? And no matter what, they can't fight old age, so they are getting older. But I do believe during the final war, when they could actually do something, the time they're waiting for, because they show that because by that statement, we were too early, kind of shows that if they were right on time, they would have acted, they would have did something. But now time was not in their favor. So I think when the right time comes, they will.
Exactly, because the theory that I'm seeing on the internet, it was like they reached laugh tail. They realized that they're too early, so they didn't even try. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, no, if these are good people, even if they didn't try, they at least are gonna save some lives. Even if in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. One life that I saved from the celestial dragons or from the marines or everything is gonna count. So I'm thinking they're conserving their strength to the perfect moment.
Could be. Yeah. Well, Sinbad, we gotta drop you there. I gotta get the rest of these
it's all
calls
good,
in.
it's all
But
good.
thank you so much, man.
Maybe next time for my question then.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your call.
Yeah, it's all good. Good luck, guys.
Appreciate it.
Such a nice guy, bro.
Yeah. Next up is K Money Man. So K Money. K Money, you there?
With my money, man.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Talk to us, man.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
What up, what up?
What's going on?
I've been a huge fan of y'all guys for a little while now.
Thank you.
Really love what y'all boys do.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, so first I have a theory on Luffy's next power up. But first I want to hear real quick what you guys think Luffy's next power up is gonna be. Just real quick.
The next power up, I think it has to be related to the voice of all things. I think we kind of got a hint to that here in the most recent chapter. Because I think that's, I don't want to say it's where he's lacking the most, but that's like, we've got a lot of armament and conqueror stuff recently for him. I think some observation stuff is going to be on the way again. So that's my thought process on his next power up.
Sebastian mentioned voice of all things. That's a good one. I think it's going to be more too with Conqueror's Hockey because they're showing more and more. We're seeing more stronger uses of it and at a higher degree and even like maintaining it. So I think Luffy has to level up with that, and I think he also needs to level up with his ability. Nika's also, the fruit is also showing to be a center point, a piece of all this, and just that few minutes he has there, to me, him upgrading to another level in that one doesn't really equal the time wise, because if it's still the same, if you're not growing with the fruit, you can only use it for a short period of time, where like we're having people fight for days out here, you know. So I think especially with his fruit itself, with his hockey, his voice of all things, his conquerors, as well as the elongating his time with his ability.
I think he's gonna share his Nika powers with allies. I think that's the next power up. It will feed into the awakening, but then also feed into how he's gonna combat emus.
What's your theory on it, man? And we do got to be quick because we got to get to another call and we only got a couple minutes left. Let's talk to us.
All right. I'll be quick. What I think his next power up is, it might be kind of out there, is God Hockey. So it is said Zoan type fruits are said to have a will of their own before they're even consumed, right? It is also said that those who unlock Supreme King Hockey have the qualities of king or candidates chosen by heaven itself. Zoan fruits are creatures that either exist today or have existed in the past. So at some point, all Zoan creatures we have seen existed. So that should include Nika, right? But Nika is a mythical god. Conqueror's Hockey users are said to have qualities of king, but what about qualities of gods that have existed? In my opinion, I do think gods have existed at some point in the past. This is also why I think Luffy gets so exhausted after using Gear 5. I don't think it's because he's not imbuing enough Conqueror's Hockey or doesn't have enough Conqueror's Hockey control yet. I think there is another level of hockey that nobody else has. That's why Kaido said Haki conquers all. It's kind of like what Emma does with Zoro. Zoro doesn't imbue enough Conqueror's Haki into Enma, so it drains his life. That's what the Nika Fruit is doing to Luffy, but he needs another step of Haki because this is a mythical god fruit we're talking about, the top tier of top tiers of fruits who have wills of their own. So I believe the Nika Fruit has Haki, and it is a type of Haki Luffy needs to unlock to get to that next level.
Okay. I could see how it could go in that direction.
Interesting.
It just depends if we want it to go in that direction, because I think it's plausible. Because I've used this theory in order to give Blackbeard Haki at one point, because I thought he couldn't get it himself. So I could see it, bro. I think it's a good theory. It's just, do we, as a community, want to see that happen as a next power-up? But it depends. So...
I do. I want to see it.
I mean, you made the theory. Of course you want to see it.
You can make a theory and not like it.
To me, only if like Luffy's getting our. I don't like the idea of borrowing so much of someone else's power.
I ain't want to give too much pushback, but I don't like that
Yeah.
in that context. I think a lot of what One Piece is about is you earning your own dreams and earning the right to fight for this stuff. And
Right.
if you're just kind of grabbing the Haki that is in this fruit that you ate when you were a kid, like are you earning it yourself in that point? I don't know. So
Yeah.
I have some pushback on that, but I can't say it's not feasible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, man, thanks for the call. I'm sorry we couldn't get to the other part of the theory, I think, or the other question. But I got to try to get this last one call in. So I appreciate you, Money Man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you guys for having me. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, and last but not least is Yuki. Yuki, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. What's up? Got to be quick. We only got a couple minutes left.
All right. I just had a mini theory. It was I had it on chapter 1149. It was the second to last panel of Gunko having the emu Gunko having like flashbacks to her memories, and I took it as Gunko having a flashback of Emu's memories, because you can see that Gunko has the long hair that she has when Emu takes control over her body, and I just want to know what y'all think. If y'all were to put it to perspective of that being Emu's memory and what that might entail.
It sounds interesting. I'm not gonna lie, but I think that since Emu is such an older being and there's a lot of narrative regarding it, it kind of like pushes it out the window, you know? But I do think that it would be super interesting if this was Emu's memories, because then this wouldn't be Brook, right? But it's also insinuating through his laugh that it is Brook.
Right. Question: are you saying just that one panel where the person screams out for their father is Emu, and then the other piece is still panel, just
because after that she says, "What is this memory?"
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think you're saying it's two separate memories of two separate people entirely.
Yeah, that's good. Also, what could have her so confused, because if it's a mixed match of different memories, she can't really tell which are hers and which aren't hers.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we're seeing two memory flashbacks that are different. So one could be Emu's and the other could just be Gunko's. Yeah. And then Gunko's is the one with Brook.
Yeah.
And then the one yelling out father is okay. I mean,
it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible, I would say.
It just made me think, and I kind of feel like this level of hatred Emu is influencing the rest of the celestial dragons that weren't under his control. But it could speak to maybe something happened to his family or whatever, or why he has such hatred for everything and everyone, especially the Nika or the D clan.
It could explain why there's so many bad fathers in One Piece. It's because it all started with Emu and their dad and that trauma.
You ruined it.
Well, Yuki, thank you for that, man. We gotta let you go.
Thank you, brother.
We gotta close the show out, but have a good one.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah,
Great
you
show.
too, man. Thank you. Such nice people, bro.
Yeah, man. Everybody's so nice there.
Love the fans. Love you guys, man.
We
Thank
did
you.
have one more super chat before we close out. 15-something from Monkey D. Hershiko, I believe. It says, which not animated character will utilize the most of Luffy's fruit? Hashtag Larry Tax, hashtag TOPT gang.
Which not animated character?
Like
a regular person? Like a character in some show or movie that's not animated, but that could utilize the Nika fruit to its fullest capabilities.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold.
What?
More beer.
I was gonna say Jim Carrey because I seen him do it already.
In the
Jim Carrey's a good one.
Yeah.
Stone Cold would bring like a truck through the stadium. He does it now. You know what I'm saying? He can get everybody.
Stone Cold is crazy. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Stone Cold is a crazy take. Me.
You said you?
Me.
You would do it, Lawrence?
Me, I would do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Steph Curry, man. LeBron James. Jordan already in Space Jam.
Yeah. LL Cool J. For sure.
Will Ferrell.
India Love.
What?
India Love. For sure.
Oh, man. Marv.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews going.
Yeah.
Hey, what? White girls or just anything?
Anything.
Cat Williams.
Oh, there'd be too much truth. Too much truth being spit. All right, but it's 9:01.
Yeah.
All
Marv, get the count.
Guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. Thank you so much for all the super chats that you guys sent today. You guys are such a blessing, and we hope we're a blessing to you. We are going to be here next Monday at 6 p.m. Don't miss it. It's supposed to be break week. It's not confirmed yet, though. But for the meantime, like the video. If you're on Apple and Spotify, please give us the 5 stars. Leave a nice comment. And we just want to say thank you so much for you. And just thank you so much for the support. So we'll see you next week, all right? My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Seb.
And Lionel. And this is Top Podcast. Jana!
They asked us what Jana means.